Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today, we have a very special guest on the live stream that I'm very honored to be able to introduce. We are going to be playing Oblivion and interviewing the one and only Wes Johnson, who is the voice of the Imperial Guards, the demonic lord Sheogorath, Lucian LeChance, among others, in my favorite game of all time, Oblivion. So I'm gonna undeafen now, and I will say hi. I hope I don't scare him. Okay. Hello.
Hello there.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. Um, there we go. Now I got you on your screen. Everyone, this is Wes Johnson, as I just described, of Oblivion fame, of Elder Scrolls fame, among many other things. And today we are raising money for the Alzheimer's Foundation. I don't know, Wes, if
Alzheimer's
you
Association at
association.
Alzheimer's
Apologize.
Association at alz.org. Yes. And
Yes. Yeah. Exclamation charity if you want to donate for yourself. We also have a QR code up there if you want to scan that. We can talk a bit about what this association means to you, Wes, and then maybe we can talk a bit about your time voice acting and a bit about kind of what inspires you.
well, absolutely. I really did, you know, Alzheimer's touched me and my family personally. I lost my mother to Alzheimer's. Um, Began as dementia, it just became dementia, and you watch as they slowly disappear, the person you once knew. It takes away everything you ever were. And it also can hurt families that are around because it changes personality, it changes your physicality. They have to take care of you. The families I've seen have been shattered, and sometimes they don't know where to turn. I lost my mother and my grandmother to Alzheimer's. And when I discovered that there was an organization like the Alzheimer's Association that was there 24/7, you just go to alz.org, go to their 24/7 hotline. There's somebody there who's been through it, who's done it, who knows what to do, and can help you. Everybody has their own stories with their families, and now it's a chance, instead of feeling helpless and feeling lost because of Alzheimer's disease, we're at a time now where changes are happening. They're coming up with brand new drugs that'll help keep you longer. And we're fighting for that. We're fighting for a cure. We're fighting to help those caregivers, the family members who are at their wits' end and need a break, but are heroic in keeping the memories of those they love alive. You become the keeper of their memories.
Mm.
And today, in the memory of my mother and of my grandmother, we're tipping off Voice of Palooza, which we do every June every year. This year it's June 1st through the 30th, where we're going to have streamers, gamers, folks like you, Criken, coming out, and then like video game voice actors from around the world and gamers from around the world come together and drop in whatever little bit they can. A dollar, $2, the amount of a price of a cup of coffee to help somebody at the worst time of their lives. We can make a difference, and we have made a difference over the years. And this year, especially since I was at an Alzheimer's function in Atlanta when I collapsed and basically died for a little bit, and they brought me back. The folks from the Alzheimer's Association were there for me and my family in my time of need after being there for them with all of you guys over the years for Voice Palooza and Fallout for Hope, and Kenneth Vigu, who does such great things to help people and has raised up over nearly $1 million for Alzheimer's, heart disease, kids getting surgeries done at St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Gamers are some of the best people in the world, Criken. I mean, you hear about a toxic few. Well, there's a toxic few in everything,
Yeah.
and they're the loud ones. But guess what? We can be louder when it comes to shedding light in a dark world and making this place better. So if you guys have a chance and you can donate today, donate in the name of somebody that you know or love, or donate in the name of my mother and grandmother and aunts, uncles, and Crike, and you have a situation going on possibly as well.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to quickly interject, Wes. We already raised $1,000 in just that opening spiel.
Oh, bless you guys. That's wonderful.
Incredible generosity. Yeah, I saw a $500 donation, 250. Thank you, everyone. Um,
Thank
yeah,
you. This means all the world to the people who need the help, and it happens to all families, doesn't it, Criken?
yeah, it does, and I think, I mean, growing older is one of the only assured things in this in this life for us. And as you grow older, that wealth of experience and lived, life you have, being able to communicate that to is an essential part of being human. And I think that's what makes Alzheimer's so scary, is the idea of not being able to pass on all the things that you want to be able to. And so it definitely affects me in my own personal life and family, which man, yeah, I did not expect us. We're already jumping into the hard stuff right away.
Yeah. Well, we're
But
gonna have our fun. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna have our fun. We're just telling you why we're here.
yeah, what this is all about. And I
And it's
think
it's hard when it happens in your family because, Criken, sometimes people they feel like there's a little bit of a shame to it, or they don't want to talk about it. And it's a
yeah,
fact of the matter is it's happening to so many people quietly in the background. And if you need help, you reach out. And sometimes you don't even know if it is Alzheimer's yet, but you might
right.
suspect.
Yeah, and I think you said something that really touched me there when you described kind of how, losing a bit of yourself, and when you still have that, you don't take it for granted. And I mean, I know you had, as you just described, your health scare earlier this year, which a lot of us were very, concerned about and worried about. But so, you know, obviously blessed to have you still with us. And I think, almost just hearing the way you're talking about it, I can totally see how that having happened to you has probably just completely changed your perspective on life, and made
Yeah.
you look at, this time that you are spending, uh, as like kind of a wake up call to like get everyone else to kind of rally together and take, appreciation for what they have and the experiences they've lived and what they kind of hope to do going forward. And I'm just so happy that this is the kind of message and stance that you're able to share with all of us, and that in whatever small way we can represent in our little weird gaming corner of the internet, find.
Realize the difference in
Yeah,
the change that we can all make. The fact of the matter is that we have today. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. We have today, and you can take your joy or your pain in this day. It's up to you to choose. Do you choose lightness or darkness? Because there's a little bit of each in every world. We have the light and the dark in the same place. It's all sometimes gray, and we have to appeal to our better angels because we all have both. We've got something sitting on each shoulder, a little
yeah.
mania, dementia. Oh, they're all different back and forth, giving you all the bad advice.
I was about to say it's very poignant coming from the Lord of Madness himself.
But the fact of the matter is, trust what you want. Trust what you would like in this life because today is what you've got.
Yeah,
And the naysayer, the one that's always afraid to take that move to go do something, there's nothing to fear in this world while we're breathing and living. Even when you suffer things like when people are going through Alzheimer's, the light that you see are the people around them. The light you're seeing right now, Criken, is people making these huge donations coming from their heart and in darkness reaching out and spreading light and spreading love. And
yeah,
that's what we can do with ourselves each and every day. And in the meantime, enjoy yourself. Have some fun. That's why we're here today, to not just raise the funds, because it's going to help and it's going to be good. And the big bad really is Alzheimer's, and we're going to end ALZ, but also to have fun, to celebrate the things that are worth living for us.
right. The
And,
present.
you do this each and every day, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a very surreal line of work to, when you're always live, you're always trying to be in the present, in the moment, and trying to find that kind of momentary joy and not worry so much about what's coming next, or what may have happened in the past, but just, keep focused on, you know, who you're with right now and what you're doing.
Yeah, and,
Um,
and follow your joy. What makes you happy? The fact of the matter is, you can't try to make someone else happy. And you know this by putting on a show here. You
mhm.
can't try to just entertain folks. Entertain yourself. Make yourself happy. That's why we pull the games out. We're entertaining ourselves when we do the playthroughs. We're entertaining ourselves, and people love just hanging in and hanging out. Because you all are hanging out with us today. It's just me and Criken just back and forth chatting, and we'll be playing, and we're just going to have a good time. And that's what you need to do with your life. Do good and have fun.
That's words to live by. Absolutely. Do good and have fun. Thanks, Elk. We just broke our goal already. Thank you so much, Jack and Magda, for another a $500 donation. We've Josh B, Rotkanga, Zangetsu, just so many. Wow.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. That's wonderful, wonderful. And just because you reach a limit doesn't mean you stop, because
Yeah.
the more you help, the more the hurt goes away for someone out there, or at least
Yeah.
makes it a little more tolerable. Let
Absolutely.
me ask you this, man. When you're in a game and you're in a tough situation, isn't it nice sometimes to get a little advice from somebody on which way to proceed?
You know, it depends who's giving that advice. I've had
This is
I've
true.
had a lot of unfortunately I wouldn't necessarily describe my my community as the most helpful. But I think it's coming from a place of love, either because they want to see me turn the wrong way and fall down a hole, and that would make them happier. And in a way that makes me happy, if I can bring a little bit of joy for them. But yeah, no, you're right.
No one misleads Criken on my watch.
Oh, thank you so much, Wes. The good old Imperial Guards. I know we'll talk about Oblivion a lot as we get into it today, but yeah, the guard is a very resolute and important figure, I'd say, in our community. I've described in many ways in the past that one of the things that makes Oblivion so special to me is that there is this force of absolute unrelenting lawfulness that is incorruptible. If you murder someone in front of them, or if you steal a sweet roll, it's the same reaction. It's death. Like you have broken the moral code. And so for you to be kind of the voice and the identity behind this constant in the universe, because to me the Imperial Guard is a constant, no
I love the
matter
Imperial
what.
Guard because there's a touch of tongue in cheek in the machismo there.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I also borrowed from some of the guys. I work in hockey,
Mm,
and do announcing for the Washington Capitals. But I've been in the penalty box for years with all these officials and their police and military. And I was in the military myself, and I know that type.
yeah,
The type. Unfortunately, I never fit that mold, but I know the type very well. And the thing is, they're the ones that'll look at you, and if they're never going to tell you that they love you or give you a big hug. But if you get one of these, man, that's like a tongue kiss. That's
yeah.
that's like way
It's the world.
emotional,
Yeah.
over the top. So I think of these guys, when I'm doing this kind of thing, and they're the ones that always had those jokes. You know what I mean? The ones that are like, they'll ask you a joke, but they're staring at you very seriously, waiting for the
Hmm.
answer, and you're getting very, very uncomfortable. For them, I think the joke is your discomfort. And so
Yeah.
that is where the Imperial Guard is. He'll bring this stuff up, and he's waiting for you just to say something, because that is his entertainment.
Yeah, and I think it's increased by the fact that every dialogue is a freeze frame staring at the person with a key light illuminating them as they're just staring at you, and you're just waiting silently for a
You get
reaction.
locked in. You can't go anywhere. You've got to stay there till you answer them properly, and then you're either going to jail, you're surrendering your goods, or you're trying to pay with your blood.
Yeah, all of which they're winning, all of which
Yeah.
is their best case scenario. Also, real quick, we just had a $5,000 donation from Dragon in the chat. This is I almost choked when I saw that. We've already raised close to $8,000, and we
Wow.
are less than 10 minutes into this. This is
Dragon.
incredible. Yeah.
I bless you, man. Wow. Wow. We do appreciate you, Dragon. We appreciate all of you. I mean, a $1 donation, $5,000 donation, they all help. But to be able to sacrifice like that for other folks, Dragon, good soul there.
Yeah, man, I'm constantly impressed with this community, and I think it's moments like these when we can have someone that a lot of us look up to and kind of consider a creative, like, um, you know, apex, like a goal that we all look up to
That's
as
just
a
what happens when you have fun for too long a time there, Criken.
hey, you know, that is
Well,
exactly what I'm trying to live by. I think this is you're representing exactly what a lot of us in this community, um, yeah, consider like how we wish to live our lives, right?
yeah,
To embrace like whimsy, tongue in cheek, uh, really kind of give it your all in whatever you're doing, but also,
and make it
uh,
real. It's got to be real. You
mm,
got to feel the emotion because if you don't feel it, then the person who's playing is not going to feel it. It has to be real for you. And I live in these worlds. You know what's interesting is when I did Morrowind,
mm,
uh, actually it was Todd Howard who directed Morrowind, the voice acting for that.
yeah,
And we had sessions and did all these. But it wasn't until I played Morrowind and when I went in for the auditions for Oblivion afterwards, I had already put in about 800 hours on Morrowind,
yeah,
striders all over the place. But, and cliff racers, life is full of them. But um, I would close my eyes and imagine these characters and be these characters and feel what they're wearing and the weight on them and their history. But I also put it in that world because when you play the games, you become so immersed in them that you can go to sleep at night after playing for 8 hours and you start dreaming in that world, you know.
absolutely,
And so I go to that lucid place there, Criken, that lucid dreaming place where I can be where I'm supposed to be in a shop, in a dungeon. When I imagine Lucy and LeChance for Oblivion, we'd been just doing the race voices straight up.
yeah,
Mark Lampert, who's the director, goes, you know what? This guy, let's play a little. This guy's a little darker, a little more macabre than the others. It's really, and he explained a little bit of it to me. So I had to come up with something on the spot and a
that's
character.
amazing.
In my mind, you create who this person is and what they look like. And to me, he was gaunt. He had hair like Riff Raff from Rocky Horror Picture Show. He was
Yeah,
bent and hunched like Igor or Igor from Young Frankenstein. He was crone like and he would come up to these people and I did this voice and I had this in my head and then when they hear the voice and they animate him they put him in the body of this gorgeous guy and it changes everything. It's like different layers, and that's the thing. It's written one way by a developer, the voice actor can voice it, the artist can then change and adapt. You want to look at changes and adaptations, look at the way Shea Gorath looked initially in Oblivion.
I'll go pull it up right
And
now.
as years go by and I'm holding on to my staff of Shea Gorath, I start to mantle him because
Mm.
I was more heavy set. I was more clean shaven. I looked more like Ron Hope in Starfield than I
Yeah,
looked like Shea Gorath. But I started looking like Shea Gorath. And then you see this new remastered version, and Shea Gorath is suddenly looking more like me.
yeah. I thought that right away when I saw him. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck, man? And of course, I need to start using a little more of the Grecian back in there because Shea Gorath has been taking his vitamins and his hair got a little less silver in the new version. But
yeah,
the madness is still there as fresh as anything. But with Lucian, I just brought this voice and it was a different look on the drawing. And I thought the women are looking at him and going, oh my God, he's completely evil and he's gorgeous. He's the perfect man.
yeah. Exactly. I was gonna say in today's day and age, evil hunched over Igor voice, but
We
beautiful
love us the
body, and it's
bad
like
boys, Criken. We love us the bad boys.
absolutely.
And so
Um,
Lucy, and the thing is, everybody felt Lucian was like their pal because when I'm playing the character, you have to play more than one. You play the person that you are, and then you have to see and portray the reaction of the person you're talking to.
mm,
And I was taking that person under my wing.
yeah.
I was
Oh, that's
feeling
so yeah.
dark. I'm seducing you to the dark side, but I'm also lonely and need a friend and want you there. So I have all
Mm.
these things that are going on, hopefully underneath of it. And do they come through? It seems like in some ways they did.
I'd say absolutely. And I just want to point out, as someone that grew up and the Dark Brotherhood was my favorite quest line. I mean, it's obvious. I'm wearing a Cicero cosplay from Skyrim. The Dark Brotherhood was always my favorite quest line in any of the Elder Scrolls games.
Well, you had
But
Philip Pagliarillo writing that stuff.
Yeah, and but
I'm
like
off
Lucian,
series,
he
and he's a fantastic writer, and his brain works in
mm,
wonderfully twisted ways. And with like him and guys like Mark Nelson with Shigorth and Emil wrote lines for this. The writers over there come up with such great stuff, and everybody's like, "Are you improvising?" Well, I'm glad that it feels spontaneous enough that you think that maybe I was. But a lot of those lines, those come from them. It's just the way you say them is where the improvisation comes in.
right. But I think you hit the nail on the head there in that, it takes a village, of course, of like the amazing writing, but then your interpretation of you thought of this character as this kind of, patriarchal or at least like this fatherly figure that is welcoming in, this new blood into the family
Yeah,
and is then eventually going to rely on them to do their dirty work, to the
I
point where,
too felt betrayed at a certain point with this
yeah,
character, and I'm hoping that that came through and scared to make people feel guilty, you
yeah.
know. And everybody starts saying, and I don't want to get into spoilers for a 20-year-old game, but everybody's like, "Did you have any idea what was going to happen?" I'm like, "No, I just ran out of lines to say."
Oh no.
Isn't that
Suddenly there,
that's the
there
way
wasn't a
life is,
callback
though,
for that
isn't it?
character. Yeah,
You just run out of lines to say.
man. But that must have been a shock for you then when you actually got into the game and
The shocks for me come from playing the game,
yeah.
just like everybody else. I mean, when I get behind the controller, that's who I am, not the characters I voiced. In fact, I'll listen to them to make sure they're um, immersive and they
Hmm.
don't hopefully stick out too much. Sometimes you can't help it when you have an entire family reunion and they're all you. But still, when I'm playing the game, I want to be brought in by the characters. I want to believe them, and so I'm the guy behind the controller. But I will play as an Imperial Guard because I do all the fighting and the violent and the battle sounds and all
Of
this.
course.
To have your own battle sounds and your own voice in the battle sounds when you're playing the game is just so meta, Criken.
I can't, yeah, I can only imagine. That's so special when you yeah, when you jump off like a large building you go, "Huh!" And you're like, That was me."
Yeah.
That's what I
I mean,
would
I
sound
can
like if
turn
I
the
was jumping
volume
off a
down and be
building.
like, yeah,
Yeah, you just voice it yourself. Yeah,
and
we've been playing a ton of Oblivion. For honestly a month leading up to the remaster release, and then the month after the remaster release, we just went through it all again. But one of my favorite things to do is to go to the most densely populated NPC locations. Just last night we went to the Southern Watchtower in the Imperial City, and Wes, I don't. I'll just wager a guess on how many of you are in that one tiny room, in where all their barracks are.
very, very close family.
Oh yeah, about 15 Wesses all checking in with each other on their patrol. If they've heard the rumors of Kvatch, it's beautiful. It's a cacophony of
The difference
this
between
same
the
delivery.
games then, playing Oblivion now. My boys were still kids back when we played it initially.
Mm.
And I'd be in the living room and they're in the back bedroom and I hear them playing Oblivion. And then I hear them getting into a confrontation with an Imperial Guard. Then I hear them killing the Imperial Guard. And they have to, hey, stop killing your dad.
Would you ever employ the voice? Maybe if they're misbehaving, would you go stop and you keep them in line,
You know,
or
they would just think me to be and they do think me to be the world's biggest cornball.
yeah,
Doesn't matter all these things. They now say, yeah, it's pretty cool you did these things, Dad.
yeah.
At the time, they didn't want to hear about it, especially when their friends would find out that I did this, and their friends and they're like, Dad, stop telling people who you are. I don't tell them who I am.
Yeah.
You know, they just want to be taken on their own, and I get that. I
I
absolutely. But what's cool is as you come around and they get older, they realize, yeah, some of this is pretty cool. I never went to conventions until my oldest son was like, Dad, I'd really like to go to this convention one time. And I called the folks up and said, hey, what I got to do to get tickets. And who are you? And I told them what I did. And they were like, well, we want you here as a guest. And I'd never been a guest. So we showed up. My kids got in. They got to meet some other people who they felt were more, famous. We got to run into people like John St. John, who's Duke Nukem, and Matt Mercer.
yeah.
We ran into John Patrick Lowry and Ellen McLean Galados and become
Wow.
good friends with all these people. But
Yeah.
my kids see them and they're like, cool. They're cool. We love them. You're just dead. No, get out of here.
Of course.
But all these people now you meet over the years and you find out they're just such wonderful folks and they all join us for Voice of Palooza every year. You
Fantastic.
know?
Oh, I can't wait for more. I also love the description of your kids seeing you as this cornball, because like even just from talking to you this much, I can just tell your love for levity and
And
playing
I love my
characters and
boys
roles.
too. I embarrass them with affection at times, but
Yeah.
um, you got to be grateful for the things you have in life. And I'm grateful not just to my family and my wife and my kids, and I love my dogs. I love all that in my life. I love the fact that I get a chance to do this, that I get a chance to play these characters. And it all started back when I think I was doing stand-up comedy and acting and radio. I worked with Wolfman Jack on the radio. That's right, man, the Wolfman Jack.
Mm.
And I got cast in a video game, but it was only as people dying. Did you ever play Unreal 2?
Yeah, like the arena game. Like,
Uh, I played over 200 people dying
oh my god.
in like a million different ways. I was
Yeah.
the equivalent of a Wilhelm scream for about 4 years. And then I got my role where I actually got to portray some people in Morrowind.
Mm.
And the only picture they ever showed me was of Socia Sergala. So
Oh.
at the beginning, when you see that was the voice I worked out for him, which is,
Mm.
oh, yes, we've been expecting you. Come right in. Now, this, you were born under a certain sign. What was that? So I play that character, but then I started playing all the Bretons like him
Mm.
because they say keep it all the same, keep it similar.
Yeah.
Um, but I did play a lot of different things. I played orcs in that game. I played Mehrunes Dagon. I played a number of the different Daedric gods. It was a great time, and I loved diving into it.
Yeah.
Changed. So the blessing for me is that you do one game and you do okay. You start getting called by other people. That's the breakthrough. That's why people do mods these days,
Oh
right?
yeah. I do. We do a lot of mods on this channel. Don't
Yeah,
you worry.
you work with people who are up and coming. It's the
Yeah.
next generation. And if you can work with people now that are up and coming and they begin to know what you can do and they trust you, they're going to want you to do more. And that's how a career is built on rejection, failure, learning, trying, going, and eventually you shine at the top like the tip of an iceberg coming up from underwater, but nobody ever looks at the miles and miles and miles underneath. In fact, when they're underneath that water and they're building up things and they get rejected several different times, they think, I give up. I don't like this. I don't want to do this. All I wanted to do was go out and have fun. You got to have fun doing what you do, even the auditions. Those are your
Mhm.
performances until you get the performances.
Yeah.
Record because you want to do it. Do this stuff because you love it. Because you don't get rich. I've had to do jobs and work jobs and do things all along. Luckily I did them creative things. I did things in radio. I wrote and drew a comic strip for a couple of years at the Washington Times, a daily strip. And I was doing radio, morning radio at the same time. You talk about the energy of youth, and you know, answering telephones, doing yard work. You get jobs that will feed the body, and then you work on the ones that will feed the soul, whether it be acting, music, writing. Whatever it is that feeds your soul, you need to work on that as hard as you work on the other, but they both have to be equal. Otherwise, you're going to starve in one direction or the other.
I
Don't starve spiritually and don't
mm,
starve the other way because hungry sucks.
yeah, yeah. And I think I mean I think we're both blessed in that we're in a job where we can feed the soul in a lot of different ways by being silly, by playing games, by, whatever
Yeah,
it might be. But for those that are watching that, maybe haven't quite found that outlet yet, do you have any advice for them on how they can enjoy what they're doing, even though it might not
I
be
think
exactly what they want right now?
well, that's the thing. That's the key. It's exactly what you want. And a lot of people don't know what they want. Some of them just want the comfort and the job and they want to come home. And you know what? I love that. There's nothing better for me than to sit in front of the TV and have that Beatles experience. Oh, that magic feeling, nowhere to go. But if I were doing that 24/7, then that other side of me would die. And I love what I do, even if I don't succeed, even if I don't make a whole lot of money doing it. I love what I do, and I'll keep pushing, keep going. And like I said before, it's longevity. It's continuing to go and do. The jobs that I've lost out on are legion. You know, you come down to like the one of the last two on um, Overwatch on a certain character, and you're very excited about it, and they take the guy in LA because you're not in LA.
Mm.
So, you know, these things happen, you know. Sometimes you don't fit the Johnny Bravo suit when you audition. They know what they want, they have an idea what they want. You don't quite look like it. But other times, you bring in your own interpretation of who you are, of this character, and bring it to life in ways they didn't expect. They may want to go that way. So
Yeah.
you can never go into an audition. I know I'm rambling a bit, but you can never go into an audition assuming what somebody else wants and then trying to achieve that. You have to go into that audition looking at this character, figuring out who it is for you, and bringing parts of you to it and making it as real as you possibly can. And if you're satisfied, you can turn around and walk away and be happy. If you go in there trying to give them what you think they want, then you're sitting outside yourself watching yourself perform. You're never going to give a full performance. You just learn and grow with each audition. Whether you do it live, whether you're recording it, you learn and you grow and you change because practice is what does it.
Yeah.
That's how you get to Carnegie Hall.
These are beautiful words, and I thank you for sharing them with so many of us. You know, I think we all look up to uh, people that have been able to live this life, but not let it change who they are at their core. And I think you represent that absolutely in that. You know,
You
it,
got to protect yourself, protect that inner child inside, and
yeah,
also keep yourself a little bit open, even though you get hurt a lot in this world. You got to keep yourself a little bit open as an actor because that's what you're working from. I had my own heroes as I was growing up. I mean, who didn't love Mel Blanc? Mel Blanc is the best of all time, whoever was. But Stanley Anderson, who used to be an actor in this town in the Washington, D.C. area, along with people like Robert Prosky and people like that. But Stanley Anderson, you would recognize him in a number of things. He was like the general in Spider-Man. He was the
mm,
judge in the final episode of Seinfeld. But he came here from our area, and I went out to L.A. and he sat down with me at Carnegie Deli for hours,
wow,
giving me his time, chatting, telling me the kind of things that you could do and to proceed and work and do things voice wise. And they were all just so simple, but we're all afraid to do them. But what I took from that was not necessarily, I mean, I got some great information from him to help me move forward and give me confidence in the things I was already doing and fix the things that were wrong, which again were simple. What was most important to me was that here's a guy who didn't have to do this, who didn't have to talk to me, didn't have to come out and spend his time telling me this thing over a thing of matzo ball soup. He didn't. And yet he did, and he gave of himself selflessly. In this world, Criken, you can hold everything for yourself, be tight fisted, not share a secret, not help the next guy up. What is it? What's in it for me? Or you can reach out a hand. You reach out a hand and you help somebody, and they just pay it forward.
yeah,
Things get paid forward to you all the time. My, I remember some comedy troupes I was with early on in my career. And some of the people, they were so cutthroat and everybody else had to suck. It's not enough that we succeed. Everybody else has to suck. Well, that's a whole lot of negative energy to be throwing out there that could be thrown into something positive.
yeah,
Left those guys, I realized this. And I would put my hand out. I'd help anybody. I realized that sometimes people will take a little help at first, but they don't necessarily continue. You have to want to help yourself. You know what I mean? But it doesn't hurt to help occasionally or give advice or to be, at least in this world, kind if you can't help. And that's hard in this world. This world will test your kindness, man.
yeah,
This world will take your kindness and will make Mr. Rogers sound like Samuel L. Jackson with snakes on a plane. It's just, you know, a very frustrating world. But take a breath, step back, look at it all, and realize if you're looking at the big picture and it's all out there, what's here closest to you? Friends, family, love. What's out there? Everything that's swirling and going crazy. And guess what that is? Transitory. This too shall pass. All of it will. As long as enough of us focus on what's right, focus on light, and reach out a hand as opposed to putting one up. And
Oh,
that's why we
beautiful.
do Voicapalooza every year, Criken, because we try to reach out a hand. That's why Kenneth Vega helps with St. Jude's, because he's reaching out a hand.
Yeah.
Heart Association. The folks at the Alzheimer's Association, when I had my incident, I basically died. I had to be resuscitated. I was put in a medically induced coma, and they didn't think I was going to make it. And while I was in this coma for 4 days, before my family could come down, someone from the Alzheimer's Association, because I was there to speak for their national convention, and I couldn't, I got taken out. But they had someone with me 24/7, round the
Oh.
clock, taking turns to be with me until my family got there. And you know how my family got there? The Alzheimer's Association flew my wife and my son down
Oh.
the room that I was going to be at the whole time I was in the hospital. Made accommodations for my brothers and sister to come down because they thought it was that I was not going to make it. And then I did. And then all this stuff, they put that GoFundMe together that I never would have asked for, but I
Mm.
couldn't say no because I was in a coma. And it's a drop in the bucket to the medical expenses, which are going to be huge. But I mean, what price coming back, right?
Yeah.
Um, that being said, what really moved me were the words, the kindness, the things that people said, the reaching out of Bethesda and saying that I wasn't just one of their earliest partners, but I was their friend.
Mm.
The Capitol sending out stuff, and Ted Leonsis, the owner, reaching out to the GoFundMe personally. All the words of everybody saying that they played the games and heard my voice through the years and felt like maybe they were close to me. And I felt close to them. I love meeting people at conventions and such, but you read stuff that you wouldn't normally read if you were, you're normally dead for this kind of thing, Criken. You're normally gone. And you
Yeah.
don't see this, but this was my George Bailey moment where I got to hear.
Yeah.
I cried so many times reading this stuff. I was moved so many times, and I can't help but think because of everybody out there and all the folks that were pulling for me and all the goodwill and the love that's the reason I surprised the doctors and the nurses and everybody and made my way back. Not just alive, but all here
Yeah. Yeah.
because
That's
I was
incredible.
for many hours with very little pulse and uh, resuscitation real low. And it took them 13 hours to find me. They said if they'd wait another half an hour, I'd been gone.
Oh.
But my son and my wife calling the hotel. My son telling security, my dad's missing, and if you don't go in his room, because they didn't want to, because it wasn't my room, it was an Alzheimer's Association. And they said, if you don't go in there, we'll call the police, and if they break the door down, that's on you. So they went up, found out, called 911. If all that hadn't happened in the amount of time, I wouldn't be here right now, and we wouldn't be helping the people we're helping who are suffering from Alzheimer's. So as you can tell, I believed in the cause of the Alzheimer's Association and how wonderful the people were before this.
Yeah.
Now, I've watched gamers and streamers reach out over these several years with Voicapalooza and help people that they didn't know, help people through the worst times in their life. And suddenly everybody was there for me. And I never asked for that. But man, I'm grateful to each and everybody who reached out to me. I'm grateful to be here and alive. I'm grateful to be able to do the things that I love and want to do with my life. And I understand that the fear that we all feel about what if I make a mistake? What if I do something wrong? What if I'm not the best at this or the best at that? That's the naysayer. Let them go, because that's just fear of living. And if we have just this, have fun, do good, leave a positive mark on this world, not a skid mark.
Wow. Um, thank you so much for sharing all of that. I very touched. I can't. I mean, I'm just so honored that to be one of the many that you're trusting with being a part of this message and spreading what it has meant to you to see yourself reflected in the hearts of so many. I mean, I think, one of the real things all humans want is to be seen and appreciated. And I think, you know, your your art and what you've done in, your long career has touched so many different lives, and to see, even if it's just a fraction of who you are, to see that it has left that impact, and to the point where people are, actively checking in on you and looking after you. I What a gift,
I'm
to
still finding messages popping up on different social media formats because it was so overwhelming that they don't show it to me all at one time.
yeah.
It was kind of gagging on, and they're like, every once in a while it goes, bah, and it shoots up this wonderful thing that I've never seen, kind of like a hairball, a cat with a hairball that's been holding it back. But they let this stuff out, and I mean, how can you not go out and try to do your best? And I love doing the job, man. Have you played ESO?
Yeah. Yeah.
When we did the most recent one, Gold Road, that I did anyway, the most recent one I did Necrom and Gold Road. It was reprising Hermaeus Mora.
Yeah.
That was such fun. That was such a blast to do. But there was a character in Gold Road by the name of Johannes Verlaine. And this was brought to me. I was working with D.B. Cooper, who's a great director.
Mm,
And she said, This it tells me a bit about this guy. And he's a parent and he passes away. And because of this quest, you get to meet him again. He gets a chance to try to make things right with his son. Now, as a parent, you can be the best parent in the entire world, and you'll always have regrets. Always. And you draw on your own personal experiences, whether it be joy, whether it be pain, when you're acting. And so I was able to draw upon that and go to that place with Johannes Verlaine and think about how I love my kids and how I want them to be fine and how I would like nothing better than to sometimes change little things along the way. Like I say, they're all doing great and it was wonderful and I love them, but I used all that and I felt all that. And talking to DB was like, yeah, that she felt that as well, and she helped push me into some good areas. Finding out later that it really affected people,
mm,
that they felt it as well, meant the world to me. Because that's it. Like I said, if you don't feel it, they don't feel it, man.
man, I can't imagine all the different headspaces you've had to go in your work. I mean, to go
We all
from
have all those characters within us somewhere.
yeah, no, hey, I've been, just I guess some of my own background. I've been making videos on YouTube and on Twitch since I was 14, and I would make, characters. I would play different roles. I loved, this kind of smorgasbord of different like personas that I would take upon myself, and I think in some way a lot of that was inspired by games like Oblivion, where I would go around and every new person I would talk to would be a completely different character and persona that would stick with me. And so, I love hearing about all of these different like real characters in you that you are wrenching out and putting on the screen for everyone.
Well,
I
what's cool though is that you loved it. You did it, and as a kid, we have that thing inside of us where we can pretend that the couch cushions are stones and around it the carpet is lava, and we
of
believe
course.
we will burn if we go off of that into it because our imagination allows us to go there. But as you get older, you start putting that aside. It's like, I need to live in the real world.
Yeah.
I know the real world sucks. Uh,
It
you know,
does.
but the fact of the matter is, the if you shove the kid inside you so far down that you don't feel that joy anymore, you're not allowed to play. You're not allowed to do this, that disappears. That you still love that and you do that and find the child within. And don't we all? Aren't we all, when we play these games, really somewhat appealing to the child within, to our better natures, to who we are at heart and who we want to be, or even aggression? The end of the day, if it's been really nasty and the world has been mad and I don't want to become a serial killer, I'll take a broadsword out and I'll save and then kill an entire town.
Yeah,
And
of
then I
course.
come back and go back to that original save. And the person I was originally talking to suddenly is like, almost as if they had this weird sense of deja vu that I could kill them all.
Yeah,
No, but you know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? That's still play.
Yeah.
That's still
Play
play.
is essential to
You
it.
get
It's
a couple
the lifeblood.
sticks and you're sword fighting.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing. My brother and I used to do fake fights.
Mm.
We would love to do the fake fights when we first found out that they were choreographed and it looks like you're hitting somebody if you're getting close and all this. We used to love going out near the road and getting into what we saw were like fake fist fights. We're young, stupid kids. And when someone pulls over and goes, "Hey, you could you leave him alone?" We'd start laughing and run away.
Yeah, you're like, it worked. It was so convincing.
It was
We
very
yeah,
convincing.
yeah,
Yeah, and to give you an idea of how old I am here, Criken, I'm not that old. Inside, I'm still the same young kid,
of
just the
course.
knees go. But in order to listen to accents and things of that sort, today, all you've got to do is go on Google. All you got to do is go on YouTube. All you got to do is go to Reddit. You can listen to voices and accents all over the world. I couldn't do that at the time. So you know what I did? I'd go to payphones. I'd dial international
No.
distance, and then I would make a collect call to a name I made up.
This is
They'd say,
amazing.
"Is this the one on this street or whatever?" I go, "Yeah, that's them."
Oh my God.
I'd get them on the other end of the line turning down the charges very indignantly. Uh, but I could use an accent and say, "No, I'm not going to accept the bloody charge." That's pretty much the only thing I could say
Right.
because that's the only thing I heard. But, that's how I would listen to accents. If
Wait,
it
okay,
were
so
in a movie or in a television show, I'd be on the phone calling long distance information. So
so
that was
just
fun.
so I understand, they wouldn't get on the phone with you. They would just reject the charges, and so you'd only get this
No,
snippet.
I'd hear them because the
Yeah,
operator comes on and the
right.
operator starts talking to them. And I'd give some assumed name and I'd pick a name and they call and they do you know Stanley Bishop? I don't know Stanley Bishop. I don't know who you're speaking of.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know Stanley Bishop in the United States? It's calling us right now. Wants us to accept the bloody charges. Right? I don't know who it is. No, I'm not taking it. All right. All right. Sir, I'm sorry they don't seem to know you. Oh, maybe I meant the one in France. So
So you were just downloading this like snippet of a conversation you hear in the background, and you're
I'm
like,
just
ah,
listening the whole time and
yeah,
trying to mouth the words, trying to figure
wow.
out how the tongue
Now that
works.
is dedication to your craft. Everyone listening at home, start calling people up. All right, start researching
Is it
the.
dedication to the craft or am I a menace to society?
I think a little bit of both. You need to be a little bit of both to get ahead in this world. You have to be just thinking a little bit outside the box. Oh, I love that story.
So, yeah, I mean, there are no payphones anymore. I mean, where's Superman going to change into his red underwear? I don't know. We used to go into a phone booth. And really, to be honest with you, they provide no protection
Yeah,
whatsoever.
no, there was transparent
Time
windows the
I
whole time.
tried to change pants in one of those, people were quite offended.
Oh, that sounds like another story. I want to hear about what you put on your superhero tights.
The worst story. You want to hear a bad story? You want
Let's
to
hear
talk
it.
paying dues? Criken is an actor.
Yeah,
It's going out and having to do specialty work where you pretend to be a certain character for parties.
yeah.
And they had me come out and be Elvis.
Oh boy.
So I go, and I was good at makeup, man.
Uh-huh.
I did Rat Maserati and made myself look like I was 80. Wore lifts, made myself look taller. I was a big fan of Lon Chaney. So I was into makeup and horror makeup as a kid. So I started turning that as a cartoonist and an artist. I started turning that into just regular makeup and changing and looking different. So I have the sideburns as Elvis, the hair's done up in a pompadour. They say, we will provide the suit. You're going to wish happy birthday to a family.
Oh
I
boy.
call my father up. He has an old Cadillac. And I borrow my father's old Cadillac because Elvis is going to pull up in a Cadillac with his
Sure.
pompadour and his sideburns and his sunglasses. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
method acting. Yeah.
So I go there and the guy's like, yeah, we don't really, I don't know what kind of a costume we got. I'll tell you what, we got this. It's sort of like a suede leathery jacket. It looks like the back of a couch in 1968. I put this thing on, a fluffy shirt that looks like a Seinfeld puffy shirt he gives me. I'm like, Elvis didn't wear this. No, it looks very Elvis, man. So I put the shirt on, and then he's like, yeah, we need Elvis wear tight pants. And he gives me these like spandex leggings. And I'm
Oh
like,
boy.
spandex leggings. No, I mean, we're talking like he wore a leather jumpsuit or leather pants, or I could have worn the jeans. No, man, this is what you got to wear. I said, I'm not wearing any underwear. I can't just put that on. No, you got to, man. It's part of the costume, part of the. So
Oh
then
no.
I have these shoes. They give me these shoes. And I'm like, I need blue suede shoes. They have these brown fabric shoes.
Brown
They're
fabric shoes. Love
pointy
that
and
song.
about size
Yeah.
12 and a half. So they're like Elvis's clown shoes.
Yeah.
Almost see-through pornographic tight leotard with a puffy Seinfeld shirt and a jacket that belongs in the back of EW Bug.
Yeah.
I pull up in front of these people's house and I am just mortified. I feel like I'm getting out of the car without any pants on whatsoever. Uh, they say they're ready for you. I go inside and there's a row of like six kids all lined up. Kids lined up.
Oh
And
God.
this old lady who's sitting there staring at me, and she's probably in her late 60s and not aging well. And then you got the son and the daughter-in-law. The daughter's like sort of a stout, angry woman. And she's like, in here in the birthday, I'm getting stuff cooked. You go in there and entertain them. And I had the music. So I'm in there doing this Elvis song and all this, trying to swivel my hips while young Mr. Johnson is doing his own little dance interpretation in the middle of a pair of elastic black pull-ons right in front of the kids who are all getting a great education on Elvis and Little Elvis.
Oh
I'm doing
no.
this whole thing, and we finish, and inside I've died. I've gone away. Any sense of self-pride is now gone.
Yeah.
And I look out to the kitchen and or out to the kitchen there, and they say, "Anybody here have any questions for Elvis?" And one goes, "Are you the real Elvis?" And I say, and I pull a joke, which I've done a million times when I'm doing Elvis. I say, "I know, ma'am, I'm one of Elvis's elves," which I
Yeah.
thought was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I said, "No, ma'am." And in the kitchen, I hear the woman go, "Oh," like a colossus roar.
What?
And then I go, "I'm one of Elvis's elves," realizing, of course, this joke is not going over at this.
Right.
So I finished the whole thing up.
Wait,
I
what happened to the Colossus roar? Was she going to charge you or something?
She
Like,
was angry that I said
oh,
no, I wasn't Elvis.
right.
I
She,
mean, if anybody knew, Elvis had been dead for like 25
yeah,
years.
she was misled. She was
Yeah.
tricked.
So, anyway, I get on the payphone to my girlfriend at the time, and she's like, "How did it go?" And I'm like, "Someone needs to kill me. I will never, I don't ever want to do this again. I'm so mortified. Even standing out here right now, I could get a ticket for indecent exposure standing
Oh
at
my
the payphone."
God.
So I ended up having to get back to where this was, change back, because he didn't want me to take my own clothes with me. He just wanted me to wear the costume.
That's crazy.
So I go back, change back to my clothes, slink home, get the check in the mail, and it's half.
No.
And I call him up and I go, "Dude, this is only half. That was the most mortifying night of my life." And he goes, "Yeah, I had to give him a discount." I'm like, "Why?" I'm thinking it's Elvis's elves. And he goes, yeah, they didn't like the costume.
Oh my god.
So this is paying dues, my friend.
Yeah.
Paying dues. I might as well have been in Magic Mike the Elvish Years,
Yeah. Yeah.
as if Magic Mike were being performed at your local daycare.
I mean, the fact that you were able to go through that and then like compartmentalize that in a very dark, hidden part of your soul. You're like, this is a
Many
story I
people
will save for the rarest
showbiz at
occasions.
that point there.
Yeah, man. Did you ever do any other parties
I
again,
did
or
different parties. I would do Richard Nixon sometimes, and I'd go shake people's hands. Wonderful to see you. And I'd take their hand. And then I'd start trying to pull their jewelry off
oh
until
yeah,
one
classic.
day, a lady, I was doing Reagan. I played Reagan in Ratmaster Ronnie, the Gary Trudeau play. It was on
Uh-huh.
stage. Moonwalked and the whole thing. So I was all about impressions, physical and all. I do
Yeah.
shadow. But I mean, I cosplayed everything and I acted everything, and I wanted to look different visually for everything because that was the Lon Chaney vampire creature feature, Count Gordeval side of me, the kid who loved the Universal monster movies and had the old makeup books and used to take Play-Doh on my sister's Ken dolls, and I would turn them. I would make little masks like Planet of the Apes, and
Oh
I'd
my
make all
god.
of her characters, her Barbies, her Ken. She'd come in, and they all look like apes from the Planet of the Apes. So I
I'm guessing
loved,
she wasn't privy to this ahead of time. This was a
yeah.
thing she would discover later.
Oh, well, anyway, th- that's she and I love each other very much. She's
Okay,
wonderful.
yeah, yeah. Things have
Time
gotten better. Yeah,
she was not appreciative.
I understand.
Anyway, the uh, characters and doing all these characters, I'd go out and perform them at for a little extra money because as a starving actor, you do what you can.
Right.
So one day I'd finally had enough. Was I was playing Nixon, and this one woman with her glass talking to the intern goes, "Excuse me, but the adults are talking here." And Richard Nixon almost said something that would have gotten everybody fired. Everybody fired. And I realized, oh my God, that came really close to coming out my mouth. And
Was it
I can't do.
because you were embodying Richard Nixon? You're like, Richard Nixon would not sit for this. This is like you
Oh,
were so in character that
I was in character, but when she said that, I felt my character disappear, and I felt the
ooh.
me underneath of it going, "This is I feel undignified anymore doing it."
Mm.
And there's something about I've still gone out and done some things occasionally here or there. You know, you play a Santa Claus for somebody, and there's something about getting hired as a Santa Claus where somebody comes in who's been really, really drunk and you realize their pants are wet for some reason. You
Oh
don't.
god.
They're sitting in your lap going, I want Mercedes, Santa. And you're like, oh God, get me another job. I'll dig a ditch, please.
Yeah.
You do what you can to make ends meet, feeding the body until you can feed the soul and the body with the same things.
Yeah.
So I've paid my dues along the way. There's a lot underneath on that iceberg under the water there, Criken,
I believe
but
it.
you just don't give up. You know, and they say in Galaxy Quest, never give up, never surrender.
Mm.
This is true, but the subtext is have yourself a good nap, eat a cheeseburger, you'll get better.
Yeah. I love that. Man. This has been amazing. I thank you so much also for sharing so candidly so many of these little behind the scenes stories. I think a lot of people are, I love this message that you keep echoing of, feeding the body until you can feed the soul and the body together.
Yeah, but you got to feed both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, have an outlet for your
even a little
soul.
bit.
Yeah, and I can't help but think, if you were born maybe a little bit later, you would probably be doing almost the exact same thing that I sit here and do every single day because all we do is put on characters, dress up
Yeah,
in ridiculous outfits, make a fool out of ourselves. It's like
I would
such a
take tape
similar
recorders,
experience,
cassettes, and record and do all the different voices and
Yeah,
do my own stories. I mean, I'm doing now, Criken, what I did then. That's why when you were telling me your story about the stuff that you did, I'm
yeah,
smiling. And why am I smiling? Because that's me.
yeah,
That's who I am. That's who I was. Eventually, you start getting the jobs. But really, when you get right down to it, we're all just putting on a show. We're all storytellers in one form or another. Whether you're using your podcast, whether you're acting in a role, whether you're writing, whether you're drawing, whatever you're doing, it's a creative outlet and it's telling a story. If you're a sculptor, your sculpture tells a story, you know? So find out what makes you sing. We go back to that point. Find out what brings you joy. And we're afraid of it sometimes. We're afraid to even speak what brings us joy because we think it's impossible. It will never happen for me. That's the naysayer. That's the people who all your life have said no, 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 and made the kid inside shrink back and hide. Let that kid come out and play. Take the naysayer out back, hit it in the head with a shovel, bury it in the ground, and salt it in the earth.
Hell yeah.
Because it does nothing except destroy the joy you can feel here on this planet. You think that you can't speak to what makes you happy because it's ridiculous, and if you do, it'll take away from the seriousness of what else you do. That's wrong. Admit what makes you happy and devote a little bit of your day, even if you take an hour a week, even if you take half an hour, 15 minutes, whatever you do, take that time to do something, to record something, to do a voice, to practice, to play. Play, play, but be serious about it. If you're going to play, be a professional player.
I do, yeah. Play is it's I think akin to our souls in so many ways. I encourage everybody to play. Take care of your childhood self.
Yeah,
I'm I think about that so much. Whenever I am meeting someone new, I try to quickly as you know quickly as possible just cut to who we are deep down when you strip away all of these you know these layers that life has unfortunately burned us with over the years. You know, back to like who you were when you were like 6 or 7 on the playground field, and
yeah.
what was it that really drove you? What was motivating to you? Is there a way
Here's
you can
for
still
you.
experience that today when you're an adult?
For you, when you're by yourself and you have your truth, just your truth, who are you then? We tend to hide that and distract ourselves and keep from finding that inner voice, but find it. Find out who you are. Discover what you want, and then be good to you. And remember everybody else out there in this world. You're right, meeting people is good. Always be kind, but you can be wary at the same time and understand that some of the people who push things upon you have their own great big bag of insecurity.
Mm.
We all have our big bags of insecurity. We don't need anybody else's. Just understand that they've got it and understand them and say, okay, that's fine, that's them. But you don't have to be anything that anybody else tells you you have to be. No, you don't have to pretend to be who they want you to be. You don't have to be what your parents maybe wanted you to be, unless that's what you want to be. The thing is, you can be respectful of everybody along the way, but please, please be true to yourself. Try to breathe and understand who you are and make yourself happy, because when you do that, then those around you will be happier,
Yeah,
especially you.
man. This is yeah. This has been and I don't want to interrupt this, but we are $50 away from raising $10,000.
Oh my God. You
It has
people. Oh,
it has been less than an hour. Oh, and there it is. We just passed it. $10,100. What a
how wonderful are you folks? Oh my goodness. See, this is joy. This is bringing light into the world. There is somebody out there right now who's going to be helped through one of the worst times in their life because you folks are reaching out because you're giving from your heart. I'm incredibly moved and grateful to each and every one of you. And we did also promise some fun, did we not?
we did. Yes, I didn't want to interrupt. This has been such an amazing talk. I didn't want to
That's
segue
okay. I
into
know I'd
let's.
said an hour, but we took up so much time. Let's continue going and let's dive in and do a little play and we'll talk over
All
the
right.
play.
I'd love to hear it.
I'll
Okay,
eat
let
some
me.
Takis while we're waiting.
I'll get it set up right now. Um, yeah, we've been playing Oblivion almost every day since the remaster came out on this channel, so we have quite a lot of experience in the space. Wes,
Surprised
would
that
you?
it came out, wasn't it?
It came out at the start of the month, right, or last month?
Yeah.
So it's
My
been about a
puppy
month
was
now.
only 8 weeks old when I took him on the unveiling.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's pretty fun. My dog's name is Finn.
Hmm.
I was with Jennifer Finster. Jessica Finster. Jess is wonderful. And I was like with Finn and the Finster. But he's a Finnegan. Now he's starting to look more doxy like. His nose is growing. He hasn't even been lying.
All right, let me launch this up. Tell me, can you share anything about the playthrough that you've been doing, either on your own or with your kids?
I've been playing by myself. The kids don't live with me anymore.
Oh,
Just me
yeah.
and the dog. The dog sleeps through it. That's only because I have not gone into the gates of Oblivion as of yet. I have been spending so much time making my way instead of fast traveling. Occasionally, I will ride a horse.
Mm.
But those horses aren't incredibly fast.
Well, if you like fast, Wes, then I got a surprise for you, because
Oh boy,
we are all about speed with this character and our our Khajiit. We are faster
you're
than any
playing
horse in this game.
Khajiit.
Yes, I'm playing a Khajiit. Here, let me share the screen for you. Oh,
How gorgeous is that?
yeah, right.
I would definitely pay my fine.
Yeah, if he walked out of the Oblivion gate, yes sir, yes sir. Here, so our character's name is Will Ferrell. That's Will
Nice.
F-E-R-A-L.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you, Wes. We're all about puns over here. And I went for a build that was exclusively speed. I tried to. I'm only using fists, so I run around like a superhero, and I just punch everyone. We have currently about 176 speed, which I don't know if you've seen what it looks like to move that fast.
I'll check out that armor.
Yeah, this is the amber armor I got from your lovely Shivering Isles. I also am the new Mad God, so I'm very grateful to have that throne passed down. Thank you very much.
You do understand by the time Skyrim rolls around, you will be me.
I believe it. Yeah, the new Elder Scrolls. And so yeah, we've been doing the Thieves Guild quest line. We're at that one part in the Dark Brotherhood quest line that shan't be named.
I love, by the way, how fast the transition screens are these days.
Yeah, right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Seems you've bloodied your
Looks
knuckles.
beautiful.
There's two of you already.
Excuse me. I'm on duty.
Oh, sorry.
You too.
Didn't want to. You seem a little bit busy. Is that an okay volume for you?
I'm not sure it's playing for me here, but
Oh, really? I don't use Zoom that often, but I can see if there's a better way to capture it. Now, unfortunately, I am a vampire in this playthrough, and we have found that I burn in the sun, but the game is so pretty during the day that I can't help but go out and burn. So, oh, you have to allow sound on Zoom. Okay, is that a thing that you as the host can do, or should I look into it? Let me see.
Actually, you can do that.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I can do it right here.
Ah, there we go.
Lovely. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna wait in here till it's nighttime so I don't burn to death. But
So you went all vampire on us, eh?
I did. Yes, I've been enjoying all the challenges we can add in this game, and being a vampire is certainly one of them. Honestly, though, once you get as fast as this character, oh, excuse me, man. I find myself coming on even when I'm not like streaming, and I will just silently jump around the world as if I'm like surfing, and just kind of it's like a very zen experience, and you don't really get that with the other Elder Scrolls games. I mean, Morrowind, I think you do it as well, but not so much in Skyrim. So
Are you missing the daylight?
I do miss the daylight a little bit. Yeah, it's a beautiful game during the day, but you know, there's something about the stars that I also appreciate.
Are you going to stay a vampire, or do you think you might switch out a little bit?
I think I'm ready to switch it out. I have to go through a whole quest to do that, or I find the Vile Lair DLC, I think, is also another option. Have you played a vampire in your playthrough, Wes?
Not as of yet. I think originally I did at one point, years ago. So far, all I've done in the many hours I've played is going through cave to cave, and now I'm regretting it because I wanted to level up. I leveled up my armor. I leveled up all my things. I found out the trick on leveling up your lock, and I did
On block?
lockpick. You don't know the
Oh,
trick.
lock picking.
You know the leveling up trick, right?
I don't know if I do. I just went and got the skeleton key, and then I never think about it again.
Well, I'm going to tell you something here, and it's probably, I don't want this to be ruinous to anybody, so plug your ears. But I found out at this online and tried it out, and it turned out to work. But if you go into one of the locks, the Fist of Fury. Blade? Who needs a blade? I got my knuckles.
Exactly. So you said when you go into one of the locks?
Go into the lock, find one of the keys that's already locked into place. Go move your key into that space, and then jiggle. Just keep going for about.
Just fiddle it.
What it
Really?
does? What it does is if you keep redoing it, it will push you up to 100 on your lockpick eventually.
Man. And where did you find out this trick? Were you
Where everybody does, YouTube, Reddit. You play the game, then you go see what everybody else did when they're playing the game. Let me tell you something, Criken. I may be a voice actor, and I may do a lot of voices for the games, but I am a huge geek and nerd when it comes to playing them as well. So, yeah, I love it. I've been having a grand time. And in fact, the biggest problem, there's a huge problem with Oblivion. Would you like me to share?
Yes, please do.
You get so caught up in it, I say, I'm going to play for half an hour before bedtime. And I start playing, and the next thing you know, I hear birds chirping outside, and I realize my day is toast.
Yeah.
Toast. I've discovered that I'm not as good at doing it on school nights as I used to be.
Yeah. No, I can absolutely relate. We've been marathoning this pretty much every day, like 10 hours a day. And it's been a joy to revisit. It also reminds me of the time, because when I first played, there wasn't the YouTube, right, where you'd go and look up how to do this or all the secrets for this. And there was something special about that.
Friends and talk about friends.
Yeah. Right, yeah. And you'd be like, hey, did you find this weird little hidden thing? And, the first time you discovered the poisoned apples in the Dark Brotherhood quest line, that absolutely blows everyone's mind. You're like, wait, there's actually...
Chick TV on your comments there just said, some long-ass streams.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to do these things. But it's true, and we'll stick with it.
We will. Yeah, it's been an absolute joy. Is there like a particular activity that you feel you gravitate to the most often when you replay this game?
Mostly it's just whacking people down with a broadsword. And it's not even the broadsword, it's a single sword. What I miss, the one thing, and maybe you guys can tell me if there's a way to do it. I haven't tried it yet because I've got the the shield on one side and the sword on the other. I do remember using those exclusively, but I'm playing so many hours in Skyrim, you get used to dual wielding.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get me an extra blade. When I was playing Skyrim, dual wielding swords, that was the best. Spin, move, cut. Oh, love it.
Well,
but now I'm just like,
you know what dual wielding you can do. Get old lefty and old righty here.
I agree with Wassercloset that violence is wrong, but video game violence is fun. As long as you know to keep one in the game and not take it out on the streets with you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a good reminder. I think I'm gonna go visit the southern watchtower in the Imperial City so we can hear as many Wesses in one location as we can.
I haven't been to the arena yet.
Oh yeah?
No. And the arena is something, of course, I'm going to be tomorrow night at the arena for the Capitals calling the Stanley Cup playoffs because I've been doing them for like 25 years.
Oh, wow.
I was the arena announcer for the Capitals before I became the arena announcer in Cyrodiil.
I had no idea. That's incredible.
Mark Lampert told me, I said, how do you want me to do this? He said, do what you normally do with the Capitals, but put it on steroids because these are gladiators.
Absolutely, yeah, no, and that works. I can hear it when I close my eyes. I can hear the good people of the Imperial City. Welcome.
Rest now, Criken. You've earned it.
I'm gonna have that as my my sleep sound now. Thank you for that. Let's see. Yeah, my favorite thing, honestly, in Oblivion to do is just to go to the Imperial City and try to find the most congested area and get as many conversations overlapping as once.
They used to all be me. Everybody was related in town. Now, in the new version, there are other voices. There are other
Yeah.
people.
How has that felt? I mean, I don't know if you've played through enough and found, you know, voices that you recorded now in a different voice of a.
Most of my
actor.
main characters, when I'm doing a main character, they remain me. So if you're going to find the Lucy and the Chance, or the arena announcer, or Shea Gorath, or
Right.
a number of the Imperial Guards, or say the Gray Fox, those
Right.
are all still me. Most of them are still me, but there were so many Imperial Guards that they brought in a few more and mix up a few of folks who are running the shops. Like when you go into the Brothers in the middle of Cyrodiil, two of them still sound like me. The other one, I think their dad was the milkman.
Oh, I had no idea. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for that then. That's scandalous. This is one of my favorite NPCs in the game. I don't know if you've met her before in the arena, but if you walk up to her, she always does this.
Stop talking already.
It's the most abrasive opening line to anyone that I encounter in this game. But scary every time.
Seems nice.
Yeah, she seems nice. Well, maybe we can do an arena match.
There was blood on the
Well,
bed.
if it isn't the butcher. How's our new grand champion, huh?
We're a grand
You ready to
champion in
make
my
me some
playthrough.
money?
I have the adoring fan. He's currently dead, unfortunately. That happens sometimes.
You killed Craig Seckler?
I didn't kill him, but he did die on my watch. I have a set of gear where I have 100% chameleon, which means whenever you walk in somewhere, no one sees you. So I'll go in a dungeon, and everyone will just aggro onto the adoring fan. He just starts screaming and running away. Meanwhile, I'm just watching in the shadows.
Looks like you've reached your peak. Tell you what, from here on in, you can fight 1, 2, or 3 Minotaur Lords.
You think we could take
So what's
3
it
Minotaur
gonna be?
Lords?
Whatever I have to do to get you a little bit of oil of Olay or some collagen cream, we'll do it.
All right.
You've got it.
Now, actually, people are much more attractive looking, even in weird ways, in this version.
I think we had a crash. This still happens occasionally. I've also found if you play as many hours as I have, 50 hours on this save, crashes become a little more common. It's a lot cleaner if.
It gives me a chance to go back to a thing we mentioned earlier. There's a person online who's goes by the name of the Devil You Knew. You know, I think it's going to They're missing an O. Anyway, they said talking about the iceberg thing and how do you put failures behind you. The thing is, you just have to let it go. Walk away. You know, you do what you do the best you possibly can, and then you forget about it. It's not like you sit by the phone and wait like for a wallflower for a prom date to call.
Well,
You have to let it go, otherwise it will
Look-
eat you up. You move to the next thing. Take that energy and put it into the next thing. You just keep auditioning. You just let it go. And remember, failures and mediocrities are just practice. Getting yourself to perfection. You think that Eddie Van Halen was the guitarist he was by the time he ended when he first started out? No, people were like, you suck, put that thing down. You're making noise. They wanted to take the guitar like Belushi in Animal House and bash it against the wall. But practice. Him, Prince, Eric Clapton, anybody with a guitar, singers starting off, things aren't always as good as they're going to get. You're going to make sounds that don't necessarily sound like the ones you want to make. So you just keep going. You just keep practicing. Repetition makes you better. 10,000 times something makes you proficient at it. 50,000 makes you a master. So every week, every other day, whenever you have some time, bring out that recorder and record some stuff. Let it sit and play it back and listen, and then see how you're going to make changes. The mediocrities, the failures, those are under the water for a reason.
Absolutely. It's the same as the leveling up system in Oblivion. You know, you start off apprentice, then journeyman, and then eventually you can min-max, you know, and you get to the point where you can fly around as an unarmed superhero. So
There was a word you just said there, a word you just said that was very important, and you said journey. And that That is the key. It's always the journey, not the
Yep.
destination. Not to, I want to get to the point where I'm this voice actor or was there. Every time you do something, you're a voice actor, not an amateur voice actor, not a wannabe voice actor. You're a voice actor, whether you get paid or not. It's what you do, it's who you are. So you keep going and you get better because you're going to be better tomorrow than you are today. And a week from now, you'll be better than you were the week before, and year to year. You just keep growing. I learn and do something new every day. Every day I learn something new. And I listen to stuff I did 5 years ago, even 20 years ago, and I go, I can listen to some Oblivion if I wanted to listen to it that way and say, I shoulda, I coulda, I maybe shoulda. But you know what the fact of the matter is? Let it live and breathe in the moment, make it real, and then let it go.
Absolutely.
You've done everything you possibly can. Otherwise, it's just the naysayer messing with your head.
I'm a big believer in like the things you've done in your life, even if looking back, you know you could do them better, or you're not, you know, they make you cringe even. You try to get out of that mindset and think of it as part of your journey, part of your experience. You know, I have, when I started making videos on YouTube when I was 14, a lot of those videos, looking back, are not great, right? But
but you learned something every time you did something you didn't like, and you
exactly, and the fact that they exist, and there's something I can go back and look at and feel that it's part of my journey that is now, you know, immortalized. I'm lucky that I have those. I have a place I can go and see where I was in my mindset when I was 15, 16, 17. And now I jump to, I'm 31 now, and I can have all of these kind of touch points in my life. So I think looking at,
you can do with your eyes closed at this point, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just from practice over and over again.
Mm-hmm. It's like they talk about professional baseball players or professional football players, and they say the football players are out there. The reason in the first year or two they're not up to snuff or don't do what they do is because the game's too fast for them. But the more they play, the more they practice, the more they're in that mode and that gear, the game slows down. Yeah. And life does as well. You're going to find that at this point, I'm like, I wish I could go back and be the age I was and know what I know now. Nobody ever says, I wish I could go back and still be young again and be as stupid as I was then. You know, not saying anybody's stupid, but I know when I was younger, I did some stupid things that I'm pretty happy I'm still around for now, you know? And the biggest thing I did that was wrong, Criken, was I let the naysayers stop me. And I wasted so much time and so many years thinking, I don't know how. I can't do it as well as they can. I can't do this. I can't do that. You know what? Forget that. Do anything you want to do. Just do it. And whether it's the best or not, whether it's mediocre or you feel like you failed a little bit, you learn something each time, but there's a joy in just doing it. And if you let the naysayer come in and tell you, that's not good, you're not the best, you're not, take them out back, put them down.
And then salt the earth, I remember.
Yeah. Because frankly, you should be enjoying every step of your journey. Because the journey is what life is about. The destination, ultimately, for all of us, is no more fun. No more journey, no more hope. But right now, when you breathe, there's life, there's hope. You can do whatever you want to do with your life. Just make sure you're feeding the body with a job while you're feeding the soul at the same time. And eventually, those two things can kind of merge.
I love that. Now let's go kill some minotaurs, huh?
So where are we at now? Oh, it's the arena.
Yeah, there you are. Oh.
From the Citadel's fiercest freaks.
I loved hearing that you do this for, you know, a sports like in the real world too. That's I had no idea.
Well, I say things like, "Here are your Washington Capitals." But I really would like the one time when they're coming out of high school. That would be great. Did they just kill you?
They did just kill me, Wes. Look, that's never happened to me before.
Distracted you in the middle of a Minotaur fight.
Yeah, no, it's because you were talking and I was listening. Nothing to do with me. It never happens, I promise.
Well, you're trying to punch out minotaurs. They have very thick skin.
They do. But usually it's not a problem. Usually the punches are really strong, I promise.
What's up, pussycat? Whoa, 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 whoa.
I did model my character a little bit after the Pink Panther.
Ba-dum, ba-dum.
Exactly. He was meant to be a sneaky guy, but...
Oh, look at that. That's some very Lon Chaney Jr. hair right there.
Yeah, right?
Actually, you know what? He does look a little more like he could be a member of the Stray Cats.
Stray Cats. Yeah, like the off-Broadway version of Cats. I got the pep talk debuff that lowers hand-to-hand damage.
There we go.
All right, this time I'll make you proud. I'm gonna buff my speed. Look at this. How are they gonna catch me?
Ooh.
So you can actually, with unarmed, disarm them with a punch.
See, you're not hitting them in the head, you're hitting them in the groin. I guess even a Minotaur has a very vulnerable groin area.
Oh boy. Oh.
Oh, get out of there. Got any potions?
Well, I try not to use potions unless I absolutely have to. It's a point of pride. But I might need to. Let's see. All right, 2 down, 1 to go. Okay, that's a lot of range.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go and try to disarm him. Ugh. Just barely.
Nice. You hung on by a thread there. Leave the arena now and rest. You've earned it once again.
Thank you. It's a dream come true to hear from you. So I know we've talked about some of your roles.
Change your pants.
I think.
Great show, great show.
Thank you. I think, did you say Lucian was maybe your favorite role that you played through this? Because it sounds like there was a lot of...
When we first did it, I mean, I loved doing everything, but Lucian was special because he was the only one who broke the mold of the races.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think because Lucian ended up becoming popular because he was so different.
Yeah.
And also the storyline. The storyline that Emil wrote was just so powerful. The combination of him being different, of the storyline, of me, you know, I loved it and lived it. I think it resonated with people, and I think that was a direct reason why when you got to Knights of the Nine, and especially Shivering Isles, everybody had different voices suddenly, and it really started expanding the Bethesda world as far as voice acting is concerned.
Yeah,
so I'm really, really proud of that.
I think you should be. I mean, I know the fact that so many of the lines initially were just kind of a sequential thing, and you weren't given a whole lot of...
But you know, everybody keeps telling me that it was alphabetical, and I'm like, they're like, did you notice? I'm like, no. Why would I notice if it's alphabetical? Each line, I'd say, what's my motivation here? Why am I doing this? And then I would get into the emotions of it, into the storyline, into the reason why. Why am I doing this? What's for? You know, and that is what I do. That is where I took it. Trying to figure out that each line started with a different letter along the way until people started talking about it like 10 years later. I had no idea, because that's not... I'm using my right brain, guys, not the left brain. The left brain doesn't give a fig about what letter it started with.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think the fact that you voice so many completely different characters. I mean, I keep coming back to the Imperial Guard just because I think that's the one that was so...
Is everything all right? You look
this is one
a
of the
bit
new Imperial
ill.
Guards. He just recently hired. I think the fact that...
He's a new man on the force.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that we have, you know, Lucian, Sheogorath, and the Imperial Guard. These are like 3 of the most extreme different personalities possible. And so I'd love to hear more about the process, I guess, of deciding.
Well, the first one I auditioned for obviously was the Imperials.
Right.
And, you know, and I went through the audition with Mark Lampert, who had heard my stuff in Morrowind. But to be honest, when I did Morrowind, I was thinking more animation.
You have my ear.
Living in the world. And he told me what he wanted. And because I was able to give him something completely different from what I had done with Morrowind, he was like, great. And I ended up getting cast as the Imperials.
Mm.
From the Imperials, we go in, and there were so many Imperials because it's the Imperial City. We started changing some things up along the way. And Lucian was just a very big difference. I'd go places. I'd twist my body while I was doing it, like
What is
Joker,
it,
Yeah.
citizen?
you know.
What is it, citizen?
I'd go somewhere else. And these guys, it's all posture. It's all the guys, the military guys, and
Hmm.
well met, citizen. Give you a head nod. Good as a hug.
This is a restricted area, citizen. Leave now or face the consequences.
No sense of humor, these guys.
Yeah.
Never
We're
crack a
always on
smile.
duty.
Even though he's sleeping with a helmet on, and gauntlets, but nothing else. You know,
He looks
has,
like the guy. Go back to his face.
9 of the morning watch and all.
He looks like the guy who's playing
Good
the
morning to you,
thing. The
sir.
guy from what is that kid? The bear. Brother.
Oh,
Evan Moss.
Evan Ross,
Evan Moss.
Evan Moss,
Backrack or something like that. That's his name. And it looks like him.
Evan Moss Bachrock.
I'm
Yeah,
always surprised by the faces and how much more lived in and real they look in the new version.
I love the direction they went with so much of this, and also the new voice actors. Like the lines feel like they fit right in, and they kept all the the classic ones the same. So I've really just been loving even just exploring the creative kind of reimagination of so many of the iconic scenes here.
Farewell,
It's
citizen.
Evan Moss Backrack. Thank you, Digital Tears. Appreciate that.
I need a feed real
And the
quick. so-
Prince RP told me that as well. Everybody, he's a great actor.
This
Really
is your
good.
last warning. It's all over, lawbreaker.
This is gonna
Your
be
Oh, he's
story
mad
is
now.
over.
Look at that. His eyes are all
Take the
slitty.
stolen goods you have.
Yeah, it's because I just
Next move
drank the blood of his
is
friend, and he
yours.
did not like that. But
No.
it's only 40 gold. It's not
No.
the end of the world.
Then pay with your blood.
Now, see, you're going to have to pay with your blood.
Even though I stole blood,
You have extra blood to pay with.
It's true. It's a fitting crime or punishment actually for the crime I did. I also just love running around the Imperial City with
What's the matter?
the
Getting
entire
tired?
guard
Now,
chasing me
watch.
down.
Now, I'm trying to kill you everywhere now.
Yeah, yeah.
Me and all my new friends.
They all just look identical too because of the same armor. It's beautiful. I wish. Oh, but sometimes you can make them hit each other, and then they start breaking out into a fight. This is just so many of them.
Will you fall down and bleed to death?
There are some really mean voice lines in this too. It's one of my favorite games in that they can be cruel sometimes. If they decide that that you deserve it, they will just call out the most insane things to you when they're trying to kill you.
Oh yeah, well I love when
Am I supposed to be impressed?
they've actually killed you and murdered you, and you're laying at the feet, and it's like someone's been murdered.
Oh my God! There's been a murder.
And the first thing was your short-term memory, sir. You're the one who killed him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, die you mangy house cat.
Yeah. They really come after the Khajiits. There's a lot of racial tension in the Elder Scrolls franchise.
They're just basically chasing after you, going here, kitty, 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 kitty.
I don't know what I'll do if you don't get those scales for me.
Oh yeah.
I've saved so much for my
I never
retirement.
got this guy his skills. I
but
feel
it's
kind of
just
bad
Ralph
about that.
Asham. Yeah, I think I killed and sold some of the scales initially.
Oh.
You'll
I
find the
can't see
Ramara
mine.
stored of fish all over the lake around.
So, if I remember right, you
the voice actor for him,
Yeah.
also for Vincent Valtieri. I would have listened to Ralph read the phone book. Ralph was amazing, wonderful actor.
I love his voice as well.
Unfortunately, not with us, but he was. I loved him. I loved his work.
And I know you mentioned in Morrowind you played the Bretons, and I think he plays the Bretons in Oblivion, right? So
Yes. Uh-huh.
is there, I guess, can you speak to like what the direction was or how it was interpreted, you think, between those two games?
Some characters, like
Goodbye.
Vincent Valtieri, I voiced Vincent.
Mm.
And I voiced Martin. You voice a number of different things until the other voice actors are able to be there. I voiced a
Oh,
number of different.
really? I had no idea.
Also, Ralph voiced Lucian.
Oh,
And-
really?
somewhere, if you listen on one of the early discs, you can find some of the old tracks where we voiced other characters. There's Martin lines of me voicing some Joffrey, some Vincent Valtieri, but you listen to them, and I think they got it right. I mean, I loved being Lucian, and I can't imagine anybody else as Vincent Valtieri. He, I loved that character so much, playing it through, and Ralph just made you love him.
Yeah, I really think the Dark Brotherhood has some of the best writing and performances in this game, and I mean maybe I'm biased because they're my favorite, but
Something that Emil Pagliarulo is the guy who wrote a lot of the Dark Brotherhood, most of the Dark Brotherhood stuff, and it's just so, it's in depth, it's got emotion, it's funny in places, some places it's absolutely hysterical, and like the party when you're in a party.
that's my favorite quest in the entire game.
Oh, just so much fun, so much fun, and the scene where you end up getting Lucian confronting you. People have told me that they get shocked,
Yeah,
that it's like an emotional moment, and that, I loved going there and being there and bringing that to life. But that starts, man, with someone who's an expert storyteller, and that's
yeah.
and that's all the devs over at Bethesda. The writing in this game was so wonderful, and I heard recently from Mark Nelson, who's one of the writers there, a friend of mine, Fred, is was out there, did some stuff later on. I just love working with these guys because they are very passionate about what they do. They love the games, they love playing, and it's very easy for people sometimes to sit back and criticize. Sit back and look at a piece of art, look at a piece of work, and say, it could be this, could be that. This is buggy there. This is buggy there. They have no idea and appreciation of the miracle of this world where you can go anywhere and do anything. You can spend months before you even get back to the main quest, just exploring this world and figuring things out and having your own life. And I lived a good portion of my life in Oblivion when it first came out, and I'm finding that now, 20 years later, with this remastered version, I'm being sucked back in again. It's like Al Pacino, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Absolutely. I have a confession, Wes, and that's that I know exactly what you're talking about, and that's because I have played, it got to be thousands of hours of Elder Scrolls games, and I've never once finished the main story of any of them because I just am obsessed with all of the side things. I get distracted, and if I finish the main story, then it feels like it's over, and I don't want that. I want to feel.
Know how the story ends now. It took me years to get to it with Oblivion.
You finally got to it, yeah.
I ended the main story. The Oblivion gates would close, and there's so much stuff for me to collect over there on the other side.
Yeah.
And so many versions of Dremora warriors for me to kill, Daedric warriors for me to kill, that are me. I scared myself one time playing the game. I'm in one of the towers in Oblivion, making my way up, wending my way up, quiet, in the middle of the night. And suddenly out jumps one of those warriors with his red, black face going,
Yeah.
Jumped up out of my chair, and first I'm like, and then I had to laugh because I scared myself.
That is such a special moment. I'm envious to be in a position where, actually, you know what? I guess I have kind of done that. We did so speaking of mods from the past, we modded our Skyrim game to import a 3D modeled version of myself. So I 3D scanned myself, and then I put myself as a companion in the game, and then we recorded voice lines using my own voice, and I would just show up in dungeons and like jump scare myself, and it would be like an actual 3D version of me too. And it's a special feeling to be able to traverse a game with your own 3D version of you. So I understand.
It is easier to let go the character is not you when it doesn't look like you.
Yeah.
It was looking more like me these days. and Ron Hope looked like younger me. So, people, when I was playing Starfield, and people would start sending me messages on social going, "Hey, dude, sorry, had to shoot you in the face." Not to take it personally. Actually, I get it. He's kind of a douche. I understand. But that they felt that they like me personally, but had to shoot me in the face makes me feel like I did an okay job.
Yeah. I mean, that's high praise for a voice actor. I just had to go visit the Dark Brotherhood since
If
we
you
were
don't mind,
talking
I'm
about
nibbling
them.
on some Pockies while we play.
Oh, absolutely. Enjoy yourself. Here's Vicente.
Oh, it's my
yes.
pleasure. Please continue.
I love what they've done with his
He
over.
is so emo.
Yeah. I love it. And have you seen the bug where there's a chance that he just loses his hair? You'll like, if you leave the room and come back, it's like a 50-50 that he is bald or he has his hair. And I think the bald looks good. I think the bald is a good look.
Hey, everybody has the right to change their look if they're
Exactly.
yeah.
Spill some blood for me, dear brother.
It must be so surreal for you to play through this game when, and we talked about this when it first came out, but, or the remaster, came out, that this is the first time I can think of in any memory that there would be voice lines recorded, almost like 2 decades ago, and voice lines recorded maybe 1 or 2 years ago that are playing right off of each other, and you'll have a character talking, basically through time to one another. Do you feel like you're transported when you're hearing these lines of, your peers and friends that you're now?
I especially feel when I hear the folks who aren't with us anymore, and to hear them vital and alive and see them in this format, vital and alive, that does me good. I mean, man, Criken, it was so close to me, but joining Ralph.
Yeah.
I want to stick around, So that's why I eat my Pockies every day, kids.
Eat your Pockies.
No, it's really cool to hear this stuff and to see it so vital again. Because when we played the game initially, it was such a leap up from even Morrowind that it felt like a brand new thing. Now it feels like a brand new thing again. Yet it's in many instances the nostalgia is real, but there's enough difference that it is in some ways a completely different game. They had to compress the sound so much to fit it on a disc, so there were certain just didn't fit that you couldn't put in. But now, since you can download it directly to your computer or your console, all those sounds are full fidelity.
Yeah.
Those sounds, we even have more voice lines. I hope, and I'm hoping, and I haven't gotten there yet, but there was one thing that happened when you downloaded initially, Knights of the Nine. Lucy and LeChance is one of my favorite lines, where it's like, I don't spread rumors, dear child. I create them. And I love that line. Such a great line. But suddenly, after Knights of the Nine comes in, you're speaking to Lucian, and he goes, I've heard of a prophet down by the... And it's like, whoa, Lucian, man. What happened here? I'm hoping that we get our line back in the new one.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I've heard that line multiple times. Whenever I see him, I check in about the rumors. He's still making rumors, so don't worry about that.
That makes me happy. I love that. That makes me very happy. I look forward to getting there. In the meantime, I had to end after coming out of a cave, knowing I'm about to head up to a castle where there are going to be 1,400 people trying to kill me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and I have leveled up, so I got to remember, here's the thing, kids, always save. Always save your progress. And
Always
I say
save.
that to the 80-year-old kids out there especially.
Seeing you again is like a blessing from the Night Mother herself.
I think another reason why the Dark Brotherhood was so special to so many people is that they really hit home this like family dynamic, right? And you're
It's
a family.
the biggest family dynamic in the game.
Absolutely. And with such a hostile world out there, and the obvious juxtaposition of being a bunch of murderers but also being a family, it really felt like this was your shelter.
Fighters Guild, all the other guilds.
So
You
good
go out
to
to these
see you.
places, and
Is
it's
there
every man
anything
for
you
himself.
need?
But here, they love you, and it'll be the death of them.
Yeah, I am on that quest right now. I just can't bring myself to do it, so
I've
I
been
always
meaning to
I leave
speak
it
with you.
I leave it for last. Man, any other NPCs you'd like us to go visit? We could go visit the Gray Fox. We could visit the Prophet. Anyone that you'd like to hear?
We could go if you want to go to the Mouth of Madness on Shivering Isles. I'll tell you about why the guard, if he still sounds the way he does, why he sounds the way he does.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, that guard and I recently finished the Shivering Isles questline with this character, and every time I came out, because we would have so much fun in the Shivering Isles, and then I'm like, all right, back to Cyrodiil, and I'd exit, and that guard is always fighting something and screaming, and like there's the Khajiit that's running and hiding. I had a unicorn that was following me, and the guard was fighting the unicorn. It was like just chaos as soon as we left the land, the realm of like madness. It was very fitting.
Down near Baville, there we go. And youngster Tomlin, spoilers. Oh, it's him.
Hello.
Stay away from me. You've already spent too much time over there.
Oh wait, I think I remember you telling the story. Were you sick this day?
I was very sick. I had a bad cold, and the thing is, it's a nice day out there right now. But normally,
Yeah.
we go up and see him in the original. The wind's whipping around, and it was like stormy and nasty. So the cold worked better. Now he's just,
He can't kick it. He's had the same cold for it's got to be like 3 months in game.
really
Stay away
should see
from
a
me.
doctor.
You've already spent too much time over there.
It is true. You sound noticeably different. I think it also works though because the helmet, the little like nose flap, it looks like it's maybe pressing in on his nose, and it's causing it to be a little more nasally.
Stay away from me. You've already spent too much time over there.
He's very rude though, so I don't.
Well, he is.
He looks happy though.
He seems friendly when you look at him, but not so nice. Look at here. My favorite thing, we did the 10th anniversary Skyrim,
Yeah.
and Craig Seckler was with us. It was Jess and me and Craig, and we were in the studio, and we had all the other voice actors out there with us, including like Charles Martinet was there, and
Wow.
Paul was there, and Stephen Russell, and it was just fantastic. I had a wonderful time. But I bought a wig, like one of those yellow troll wigs.
Yeah.
Craig Seckler, not only is he a wonderful voice actor, he's a great actor, period, but he's so dignified. And he has the best looking hair ever this side of Pierce Brosnan. And to see him have to take that troll wig, and not have to, he did it joyously, take that troll wig and stick it on top of that fantastic hair to become the adoring fan in front of all of our eyes was a magical moment.
That brings me so much joy to hear. I need to go and see.
He still wears it now. If you go to his TikTok, you'll see Craig wearing his. In fact, I was dressed up once. I dressed up as Shea Gorath.
Oh, I saw the picture. It looks amazing.
Came in and started yelling at him in a duet. So that worked out pretty well. I was happy with that. He's a really nice guy, tremendously nice guy.
That's fantastic. Actually, I'm trying to find. I need to find Shea Gorath's shrine, because I was told there's an Easter egg that if you complete the Shivering Isles and then go find Shea Gorath's shrine, you actually get a little bit of a hidden lore, but I don't know where it is. So maybe my chat can help me if they are going to be helpful. Please ask Wes's opinion on mud crabs.
Gorath, any directions? My opinion on mud crabs? Well, Stelva, I would say that they're probably delicious dipped in butter.
I do love the mud crab look of Oblivion compared to some of the other games. They are just so iconically. I mean, just like a rocky little frumpy little angry crab.
You're jumping over the water like that. Is that just something that Khajiits can naturally do, or do you have a special pair of shoes?
Well, that's a little insensitive, Wes, but no, I have a very high acrobatic skill, and as such, I'm able to jump on water. Not all Khajiits can do that.
I've had cats that if you take them towards the tub, will bounce off water just like that.
They must have a high acrobatic skill as well, then.
Hello, I can't talk because I'm on a live broadcast. Yeah, I'm on a live broadcast. Can we talk tomorrow? All right, just send me a text. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
By the way, I don't want to keep you too late if you have other plans. I am so
No. I told him I was going to be doing this and that I'd talk to him tomorrow. But it's medical insurance stuff.
That's fun.
So thank you for that. Try to tell him I'm on a live broadcast. We're on. Yeah, but let me give you a message anyway.
Oh boy, yeah. Well, you handled that well. You know that very well.
I'm not as well as you jump over water, my friend. I was just saying, cats, you try to drop them in water for a bath, boom, they bounce right off. That's just a natural thing.
It's just natural. Do you have cats? I know you have a dog.
I did a cat for 18 years. His name was Chewbacca. My wife hated the name. We'd make him Chewy, and she'd just call him Choo Choo.
Choo Choo. Those are all good names. I accept all
He's a
three.
Himalayan.
Oh wow.
Seal Point
Beautiful.
Himalayan. He did look like Chewbacca.
Yeah. Okay, I'm being told it's northwest of Lewin along the Elsewhere border. Very well. Have you messed around with mods very much in any of these games, Wes?
I've played with some mods occasionally, but you got to be very careful because when you put certain mods in, it changes everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, things that you've worked for, so you got to be careful with the ones you do. That being said, I do love a mod here or there occasionally, especially when I can become like a Superman. Oh, look, the Moobot just told us how you can donate to the ALZ Association.
That's right.
Association, and everybody, the amount you've raised so far is just mind-blowing and blows me away, and I'm so grateful to each and every one of you. You're doing a lot of great work to help people who are suffering the worst times of their lives.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone. I'm so proud of this community. They always show up, and it means a lot. And I know how much of a fan they are of you, Wes. I mean, we talk about, you know, the inner child and all these ways of kind of embracing your whimsy. You know, whimsy is such it's a commodity that's been in short supply, I think, in many years, and I think people need to really set out to recapture it or to honor it, you know. And I think
it's something that everyone needs in their life, and it's actually an awesome name for a cat.
Yes, very true. All right, let's go see what Sheogorath has to say to us as the new Sheogorath. Oh, well, that's awkward.
What are you supposed to bring?
I don't know.
I used to be a dog. I got better. Not a better dog, though. I'm a terrible dog now. Tomorrow, who knows?
Elizabeth Noon.
Ravel may
She's
know.
wonderful.
Talk to him.
I love all the Argonians in this game.
I ran into her in the
They did a
grocery
great
store
job.
recently.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
We hadn't
Is she also
seen each
local
other
to your area?
since
Have you
October, and I was like,
seen the
Liz?
light? The bright,
Like,
shining light?
Oh, that's
I
so
know it.
nice.
It waits for you. Speak with Ravel.
It's Ravel. Okay, who's Ravel? And no one, they really don't like pants in the Shivering Isles.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Where are we going? Get him, everyone. Oh my goodness.
Why won't you die?
How dare you try to fight the Underwear Brigade?
Something,
You're supposed to talk to.
Oh no, wait. Maybe he'll get better?
Place,
like- oh.
not place.
Here we go.
Not here. Welcome to the Grove of Madness, stranger. Or go away. Who knows? Time will tell.
Craig Seckler, yes.
Killed and ate a boss murder.
This is one of the new voice actors from ESO, right?
No, he's been around for a while, but he was the Dark Elves. No, he was Dark Elves in Skyrim.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Then approach
And
the
now he's-
shrine. Of course, he won't appear because it's not raining. And you'll need an offering. I think unless a soul gem, a head of
Oh,
lettuce,
yeah.
and some yarn will do the trick. Yes.
Lesser
that's
Soul
what
Gem,
Sheogorath
head of lettuce, and
wants.
some yarn. I should have
I'll
known.
be here.
That's going to make a really rotten sweater.
Yeah, we're gonna have a hard time finding that. Let's just go to Lewin. We'll see if we can. We'll get lucky.
Check out the local yarn and lettuce shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one problem with Oblivion, man.
Who's there?
So many cats, so few litter boxes.
Well, the world. I'd like to think the world is my litter box, Wes. You know. And who's gonna stop a level 27?
The whole world can be your
Yeah.
litter box.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, actually, never mind. I'm not gonna tell that story. On the topic of mods that I have found in the Oblivion and Skyrim universe, you'd be surprised. People have modded pretty much anything into these games.
I do remember the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yes.
mod for Skyrim and the Thomas.
Make him
Tank.
into into a dragon, right? I love those. Yeah. Well, if you're ever looking to test out some mods, I'd be happy to put together a list for you.
Oh, that'd be great.
That you can try out. I pride myself in trying to curate little experiences for folks that will be a little bit different. I recently played through Oblivion right before the remaster came out, actually, where I had an entire mod pack I put together that had everything from an explosives mod where you could set in like mines and C4 and stuff. So I did the Murder Mansion quest line, but there were explosives as well. So it was like trying to make a murder mystery where there was also plastic C4 going off. Let's see. I don't know if we're gonna be able to find.
You may have to wait.
What can I do for you, citizen?
Yeah, vampires don't like the sun, though. Let's see. What if I snuck into one of these houses? They probably have yarn and cabbages, right?
You see that empty one down there?
The what? Oh, the empty one, right? That could have kept hitting. That was your trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that for the next... Oh, we just hit 11,000. Raised for charity. Thank you so much, everyone. This is a dream come true for many reasons.
Wow. You guys made a voice actor speechless.
That's saying something. Here, we'll try your trick. You said you go to this one, right?
The empty one. Now just keep doing it. Real fast. As fast as you can.
I don't know if this is fast enough.
Yeah, just keep it going. Tap,
Okay.
tap, 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 tap. Keep it going.
Hold W? Okay. Wait, does the skeleton key prevent this from leveling? Are you sure? Have you had the skeleton key before?
I have not.
It's a Daedric artifact that can never break.
Why don't you switch lockpicks real quick?
I don't know if we can. Actually, I have to drop it.
You have 27. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's but you do space, not move the thing up.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
See that?
Yeah. Oh, you're not kidding. I've played this game since I was like 15, and I didn't know about that trick. Thank you for teaching us all this hidden tech, Wes.
Yeah. Hey, if I can't tell you how to cheat.
As he takes a bite of his pocky. Let's see, any cabbages in here? Any yarn? Shears. Will. Oh, it's lettuce, not cabbage. I'm sorry, guys. My bad. Very specific, this Sheogorath.
It makes a difference in the recipe. I don't believe I asked you for cabbage.
Oh, here we go. There's lettuce.
Here's some lettuce.
Now we just need yarn.
Where do you think they do their stitching?
Maybe the basement. There's always something interesting in the basement in these games.
Those basement stitchers are all the same.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the barrels. Look at all the barrels.
Well, stitched leather shoes. We're getting closer. Yarn. There you have it. Okay. Then I think I have a lesser soul gem already, so let's go.
Do you have the lesser soul gem?
Yep. Oh yeah. We've killed plenty of conjurers. Is yarn a ball of yarn, though? I believe so.
Enjoying my little cookies, so everybody grab your snacks.
Yeah. Wes, you're a big believer in snacks. Are you, do you have go-to?
It's my weakness when it comes to games and movies. Although normally I do much healthier things like yogurt and applesauce these days, but I found these brownie brittles with little baby M&Ms in them, and it's like, oh,
that hits all the all the things at once.
And I
yeah.
found Pockies at the same time.
What is it now?
So
You know, yeah. Are you alternating to kind of get a different flavor
I'm
profile?
definitely. I was on Pockies for a while. Now I've switched over to the cookie quick.
Great. Okay. Now, Chad, I don't know if you guys know, does it have to be raining to summon Sheogorath, or is he just going to show up?
When you bring the stuff to him?
Yeah, because they
Here's
said...
I have a feeling. Everybody talks about the shrines of Sheogorath, and I have all these theories. They're saying, why does he sound different? Why does he sound like Jeff Baker in Morrowind? It's because that's Haskell. That's Haskell sending Sheogorath over the Sheo hotline,
Right.
stuck in some dead emperor's mind somewhere, and just couldn't be bothered to answer the phone. So, Haskell's like, I'll get it, master. And he picks up the phone and does an impression. And you're immortal. You don't know any different.
Exactly. I love that headcanon. Haskell would absolutely...
That's my headcanon, definitely. I've told it to Jeff, and Jeff's like, oh, okay. Jeff doesn't care. Jeff is one of the most amazing talents when I was growing up. And he would hate me saying that because I was like in my 20s. But Jeff was on a radio program here in DC doing voice impressions and comedy, which is something I wanted to do. And I kind of followed in his footsteps and did the same kind of thing with different radio shows. But I was following in Jeff Baker's footsteps. I loved what he did. And then one day in a comedy troupe I'm in, guess who comes in auditions and gets a role? And we end up being cast in the cast together, Jeff Baker.
Man.
So for about a year or so, Jeff and I are doing sketch and stand-up comedy together.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
We did a little video game, a little thing called Pigs on, I think it's Interactive. It's a CD-ROM that's out there like 1 million years old. If anybody ever finds it, it's me and Jeff Baker. And then we did Morrowind, where he was all the Dark Elves. He did, I think, like 12, 14 sessions. I don't know.
Yeah.
I did 9. Of these dark elves with that scratchy voice, which is like the equivalent to your voice of sliding naked over broken glass. It was rough, and he handled it. He was able to do it.
Wow. I was going to ask, too, because I know you play the Prophet, right, of Anvil, and I've heard that guy talk, and that is a raspy voice. He is shouting. Was that a hard session for you?
No, he was fine. I love doing him. The vocally tough ones, and it's not... The vocally tough was just energy-wise was when I did Fallout and had to do all the super mutants and Fox and Leo.
Yeah.
Those left me sweaty and spent. Prophet, getting into him and going somewhere. The Prophet, in some ways, I found myself in a similar mental condition with Sheogorath.
Yeah.
Because he seems to be all over the place, but he's not.
He's fervent, but
he knows what he's talking about, but he's obsessed.
Yeah. It was a pleasure listening to Sheogorath through this whole quest line again, because it's everything he's saying is so unhinged and like devoid of reason, but at the same time so reasonable in how it's delivered and how it's presented, that you can't help but agree with him in whatever he says.
I was going between accents.
People
pinned me down.
I remember that.
Sheogorath, I wanted him to be mercurial, and nobody did know, so I was using some Scottish, depending upon his attitude, or Irish. And then when he got malevolent, he'd drop it all together.
Yeah.
Like, he'd be like, brain pie, perfect.
Yeah.
And there you get all three of them in there, and it's people don't know where you're coming from, whether you're going to be happy, whether you're going to be angry, whether you're going to laugh, whether you're going to threaten them. If you can give them a little insecurity and not know where the base is, it's a lot more fun.
Yeah. No, that definitely came across, so I think that was a wise choice. Here, let me see if he will talk to us.
Praying to yourself, my lord? That's not a good sign. Or perhaps it is. Prince of Madness and all that. While I believe you should be attending to your duties, it is, of course, your prerogative to spend time wherever you wish. Your predecessor did have one task he wanted performed, though he never found a mortal suited for the task.
I love the he being capitalized there.
There is a settlement called Border Watch that your predecessor found rather dull. This, of course, offended him greatly. They are a rather superstitious group, living their lives based on omens and prophecy. One such prophecy, the Kashara, was of particular interest.
This dialogue has multiple versions depending on where you are in the DLC. That's brilliant. Yeah, so because we finished the DLC and we have now taken on the role of Sheogorath, of course he's not there to respond. It's Haskell.
Yeah, Haskell calling on the hotline.
Right, exactly.
Because he's talking to you.
I think your headcanon might actually have a lot of truth to it then, because he's already done this before, you know?
The reason he sounds like himself when he's talking to you is he's talking to Sheogorath, so why put on an air?
Absolutely.
He's not going to pretend to be Sheogorath to Sheogorath.
Yeah, it's such a fun quest. I adore the quests in this game. You know, Skyrim has its charm as well, but for me, I think Oblivion will always be my heart of hearts, you know, of the Elder Scrolls games.
Oblivion is what brought us to the dance. Oblivion is what made us so eager for Skyrim when it came out.
Yeah.
Skyrim was just more and more advanced Oblivion to us at the time.
Yeah.
It's been so many years and you've seen so much and played so much Skyrim, people are thinking Skyrim first. There are people who only played that and never played Oblivion. So this is a revelation to them. This is a brand new game.
Absolutely. I am more happy at just the concept of someone discovering this game for the first time. Now with these hauled graphics and making it more accessible, because it just means an entire new generation that can appreciate the things that, you know, meant so much to me when I was younger. And I'm overjoyed at this last month.
You talk to people who are playing it for the first time and they tell you about these things and you're like, I know, right? You know, it's not like I've been there before this. It's like, we're so happy to share this with you.
Yeah. It is a very wholesome, because gatekeeping is, I think, one of the most abysmal kind of developments of the internet. I mean, it's not only new to the internet, of course, but it's definitely become more prevalent. And I think, you know, so far I've not really encountered many people in this fandom that have reacted that way. It's been much more of a, you know, open arms, come on in. We're so glad that you're understanding the things we love about, you know, our favorite world.
It's definitely community. I think that's one of the things that I love. I've done games for other companies, but one thing I love about Bethesda is that especially people get down on 76 or ESO, and what it's done is it's created these communities of people who don't know each other, wouldn't know each other otherwise. I love the single player. Don't get me wrong. I love the single player. I love being in it. Sometimes playing with other people can be frustrating to me. It takes me out of my headcanon, out of my immersiveness, especially depending upon if you're playing with people who don't want to get as immersed into it as you are.
Yeah.
There are whole groups out there, people who get into it so much that would probably be out LARPing somewhere.
Yeah.
But are not, they're LARPing online.
Absolutely.
You know? I got to tell you, getting yourself armor in a game is a lot cheaper than buying yourself some LARPing armor.
You're preaching to the choir, Wes. I do role play on this channel predominantly. You know, I'll role play as the characters that we're streaming as. This last weekend I was at a Ren fair. I actually wore this same outfit, and you know, so it all goes back to, like, you know, nurturing that inner child, right? You have to, you know,
I know Cicero, people love Cicero and everything, but I can't help it when I see Cicero hearing the voice from Silence of the Lambs go, it puts the lotion on its skin.
He is, I think, maybe the most psychotic of the characters we encounter, and more so than Lucian even. Like, Lucian, I think, cold and logical and, you know, but Cicero is just unhinged. It's arguably even more unhinged than the Mad God. I think he's just...
Well, I got to tell you, Lucian is Spock compared to Cicero's Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ronald McDonald, they don't even have him anymore because evidently he scared the kids so much after it.
Oh, wow. Was it a character assassination on Ronald McDonald? I didn't know that.
On clowns in general.
Yeah.
I mean, between it and John Wayne Gacy, it made it hard to put on a rubber nose.
Yeah, that was a tough day for clowns for sure when that news broke. Where do you fall on clowns, Wes? Are you a clown supporter?
Well, first of all, I try not to fall on clowns because they speak when you land on them, and it's just annoying.
It's annoying for everyone involved.
Truthfully, I've met people who are clowns, and it's commedia dell'arte. It's like it's really like vaudeville. There are a lot of things in there. If you're not just doing a kiddie kind of thing, but there's some clowns. I like Puddles,
Mm.
the guy who sings and is dressed as a clown, but he has this beautiful singing voice. I love the dichotomy of that. I think that's fantastic. I remember when I was growing up, they had pictures of what was the sad clown? What was his name?
Dopey comes to mind, but I don't know if that.
No, he was oh. Normally, I know his the Pagliacci was one of them, yes, but there was a different one in America. He was a hobo clown. Yes, he was. He was a hobo clown. Puddles is amazing. I love Puddles. We're talking. What is his name?
Thank you, Strippin, for the raid. Hey, everyone, this is Wes Johnson, world-renowned voice actor and personal hero of mine, I will add, that we are exploring Oblivion with and talking about all things creative and also raising money for the Alzheimer's Association with Exclamation Charity if you are interested in donating. We've already raised over $11,000 today, which has been just
Amazing.
It's been
Amazing.
awesome. So,
and the thing is, we got people donating anything from like $1 to the amount of a cup of coffee to some who've donated up to $5,000, and all of this goes to people who are not just those who are suffering from Alzheimer's, but the families, the caregivers who are suffering as they care for them. For those who are looking for a cure, we're getting very close to a lot of things. There are new medications that have come out because people like you have donated over the years, and we need it more than ever now with the way things are being shut down with the government. We need to have people who are working on finding the cures for Alzheimer's, for cancer, for all of these things. And we are able to bring light into the darkness with just a little bit of effort and a little bit of a donation, and all of us together around the globe, gamers, streamers, voice actors, human beings with a heart making a difference. So we welcome each and every one of you here. Welcome, Raid. Let's have some fun.
All right, we're gonna go visit Lucian real quick because we've been talking.
Don't you hate it when you try to go into somebody's house and their skeletons battle you?
Yeah, he keeps bringing these guys back, and he won't turn them off. You'd think that they would work for us now, but he. I love these dinky little traps. It's one of my favorite things in Oblivion is when you trigger a trap and you're like, what's gonna happen? And you just see these tiny little balls fall from the ceiling.
Some logs rolled down on me that I thought would be just fine, and they murdered me.
Oh no.
Emmett Kelly, thank you. A retro type.
Oh my goodness.
Emmett Kelly, that was the name of the clown. Yes.
Thank you, JP, for the raid as well. Hello.
Thank you, JP.
Oh boy. There he is. He won't let me in though.
Dear child.
I must fight past my dark guardians first. Oh, here it is. Hey, buddy. What is he doing here all day?
Need some repairs, Lucian?
I speak for the Night Mother.
So you mentioned when you were recording the voice lines for Lucian, you believed him to be hunched over and Igor-esque, right?
I just felt him. I felt him twisted, not necessarily hunched, but twisted, gaunt. That evil had sucked all the vital juices out of him. There was nothing left except for the venom and the love of the darkness.
Has
and
the
you.
Cheatenhall Sanctuary not yet been purified? Everyone based out of that location must die. Only then will the Black Hand be satisfied.
Especially in this remake, they made him. He looks like a model.
He looks more like me and how I used to look.
Oh yeah. Oh,
all
right.
my characters in this game, and maybe it's unintentional, but I see it. They look more like I used to look.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I do think playing as an Imperial in Oblivion is kind of like the canonical choice because I love. First of all, I think you have some of the best like sounds for combat and getting damaged and running around and everything.
I speak for the Night Mother.
Yeah. Oh, and he has this barrel full of poison apples. You can just help yourself to these. It's great.
Oh yeah.
He's eating a human heart. It's the little things. You
know? I love when you put the apples down and somebody watch them just munch down. You know, it's then.
Yeah. Oh, we did. I bought the apples to the murder mystery quest line, and I put them in the middle of the table, and I just waited for like 2 days in game and waited to see who would go up and eat them first. We ran like bets in my channel. People were wagering points, like, you know, fictional currency points to see who would die first, and everyone was like cheering like there were racehorses, like, "Let's go, Mathilde, go for the apple!" And yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. Yeah, I can send you a clip for that. Well, let's go visit the prophet. We're trying to drop by all of your. Actually, no, I think the Gray Fox is here right now too. Let's go say hi to him. We'll go say hi to all the Wesses we can.
Okay.
I lost all my points on that bet. Yeah, people were really invested on the apple races. Let's see. We talk a lot about what our favorite quests were in this game on my channel, and a lot of people will reference the last quest in the Thieves Guild quest line. I don't know if you remember much of the lines from that one.
Inside.
When the Gray Fox has you go and do that elaborate heist in the Imperial Palace. There he is.
Have a seat, please. I assume you found Spring-Heel Jack's tomb.
I love him. I will say the new mask is so goofy looking. He looks like an elephant. Here we go. Wait, contemporary.
Did I know him personally? Of course not. He lived 300 years ago.
Jack's diary mentions you.
Ah.
I'm sending you a
Seems
photo.
to have stumbled over a bit of history that few in the Thieves Guild ever discover. I am not the first Gray Fox. That master thief died sometime shortly after stealing the Gray Cow and receiving Nocturnal's curse. However,
I'm trying to show this on screen.
Thief in the guild picked up the cow and assumed his identity. And
is this
old me was
no
Lucian?
One in the guild knew it was a different person.
This is young Wes, Lucian LeChance in the flesh.
To the rest of the world, he seems immortal and unchanging.
That is fantastic.
I am hoping to be the last.
I see what you mean. Man, so Shea Gorath is becoming you, Lucian is old you.
Yeah.
You really are like all of the Oblivion characters wrapped up into one.
Well, every character has to come out of you somehow. It has to be part of your soul, part of who you are. So the Imperials, and the Gray Fox was one of them, came from that military, straightforward, to hug you is really just a head nod kind of feel.
Right.
But those people, they do feel deeply, but they're never going to let you know. Lucian was a lot more wrap you up and bring you in. The arena announcer was what I do.
Yeah.
So just channeling me and that kind of thing. Shea Gorath, I was told when they first asked me to audition for him, they sent me pages and gave me an idea what he was going to be like. They wanted somebody who was a sort of stand-up who could be funny but scary at the same time. And one of the first things was like maybe a Robin Williams type, because they knew he was mercurial.
Right.
So I knew that there was a mercurial element to him they wanted, but I felt Robin was a bit too cuddly, you know? Yeah. I'll skip rope with your entrails. I think your eyes are lovely. I may just pluck those from you. And it just seemed not quite there. So
believable.
I thought, who's a stand-up comedy that would bring fear to my heart if I was in the crowd? And I wanted to hang with him, but I was a little afraid of him at the same time. One of them was, I thought about Bobby Slayton, who's like the pit bull of comedy. And I'll tell you a Bobby Slayton story later if you want. But Bobby was, he's a bit more New York, little Jersey kind of thing, and that didn't seem right. Then I thought about Billy Connolly, the comedian Billy Connolly from Scotland. And I love him. He's funny. But you imagine if you go out drinking with him, just like any of the old Irish, Scottish actors of old, you go out drinking with them and find yourselves in deadly trouble later, because one, they're having fun, and two, it could turn on a dime, and get the pudding beat at you. Not that Billy Connolly would do that, but there's always that feeling that he doesn't suffer fools gladly.
Yeah.
And I also knew these guys over at the Irish Channel. Tom Steck is from Cork Island. And so you got them over there with their Irish accents, and it was softer. And I thought, well, what if Shea Gorath was going back and forth? He had a softer, more philosophical side, which could be a little more Irish. And then when he gets more manic, he becomes more Scottish. And I started playing with that a little back and forth. And I kind of liked the way it sounded, but it had to like not, I couldn't just say, here, I'm going to say this, here, I'm going to say that. I also knew that all of these things and these accents and these voices for Shea Gorath were all affectation. Because he's not Scottish, he's not Irish, he's whatever he wants to be.
Yeah.
He feels that that's who he is at the moment. And so when he gets malevolent, you'll notice occasionally the accent starts to slip. And another time that you see everything starts slipping and changing is when he is slipping and changing and the ending is coming.
Right. Yeah, I that occurred to me as you were bringing it up too, is in the end of that quest line, almost all of his lines are so kind of directly given and lucid, which, you know, is so jarring as this character had always been, you know.
I thought of him as like mercury on a hot skillet. I didn't want to let the accent just stay on one thing. I'd let it shift and move in the attitude and the feeling and never stay in one place at one time. So within one sentence, I could go from joyous and loving to threatening to cajoling to mourning to, you know, all these things. That Shea Gorath is a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
And to perform him, I had to go somewhere different. And I loved doing him. I actually loved playing the character. And people say, well, how do you feel about your character? Which is your favorite? That's a Sophie's choice.
Yeah.
Because they're all your children. You bring something of yourself to all of them. I love them all. I don't want anybody else playing any of my characters that I have created because they came from within me, within my soul. But that people sometimes do. I hear people out there that do mods and do voices, and when they can't get me, I'm not allowed to do a mod.
Yeah.
So they reach out to Daniel Hodge has done me for a number of years, and he does a really good job. But I've told Daniel this. I said, Daniel, man, you're good. And what you need to do is be you and not me.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be me and can do whatever he wants to do, but I'm just saying this is a guy who has a great deal of talent and can be flexible and do a lot of different things. And I want to see him do that. I want to see everybody expand and be everything that they possibly can be. You know? And if you start off by doing an impression of somebody and then changing it and adapting it, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Things work and play. I've done impressions and characters and try to do voices of people that I love and I admire, but I don't want to stick totally with that. But I will take from them what I've learned, like Mel Blanc, who tried to find the inner life of his characters and also looked at their physicality to see how that.
Yeah. You touch on something I think that's really resonates with me, and that's, you know, coming from the perspective of someone that does like a lot of role play, plays characters on their streams, and tries to create some, you know, a character out of nothing. But for us and a lot of people that watch these, you know, we have nothing but impressions as like the starting place. When you're thinking of, oh, I want to play a character that, let's say, is like really kind of flamboyant, and then, but like, we're going to go this direction with him, but I know to begin with, he's going to start off with this energy. Then it becomes searching for who do I know in media that might have that, you know, that type of voice, that type of energy. And so you kind of start with an impression, and then as you play the character, you kind of find what makes them unique and distinct.
And you find what connects them to you.
Right.
You're channeling all these things through you, your own experience, your own emotions, your own thing. And that's going to change it. And that's where you start. That's what you do. It's very cool. I love the creation. I love the creation of characters and building it, finding the Rubik's Cube and what makes them tick. What were they like? Because everything that you do, Criken, is going to affect how you hear things and how you react to things. Whether it be your physicality, if you're not feeling too great, you're feeling a little ill, that'll make you irritable. And somebody will hear you say something and they'll be like, well, he hates me. No, he doesn't hate you. He's in pain. Somebody said, you know, when you ask somebody out for a cup of coffee, you're not telling them you need caffeine. You're telling them, hey, would you like a cup of coffee? But you can't come right out and say that.
Yeah.
You know, we have to have the feeling within ourselves. So take a character or a caricature or do a caricature and do impressions. I started with Jack Nicholson. I started doing little Tony Soprano here and there. You get a little
Yeah,
thing.
me too. Yeah, I love good old Tony.
William Shatner, Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise.
Yeah.
You do these things, but when you do it, you figure out why they're doing it. When you play a bad guy, you don't play them as, yeah, I'm a bad guy because I like bad guy things. No, you play them as a human being. You play them as somebody, even if they're an alien, you play them as a human being because you're doing this for human beings. You're not trying to entertain aliens out there, but you can make them different. You can make them a little off. You can make something seem alien. But the fact of the matter is emotion, things of that sort, those you bring from yourself, and that's what's going to change it. And the moment you can connect that to what you're saying and what you're doing with the voices, you've got something.
Yeah. Yeah. I that hits the nail on the head. I think I've found a lot of what you just said there from experiencing, but I've never really laid it out in that way. You know, I do feel like the characters I really grow attached to end up plugging into some piece of me, to the point where I don't even have to think of, oh, what would this character do? It is just one-to-one. It's like something happens and I immediately respond.
If you do something the character wouldn't do, it'll let you know.
Yeah, exactly. Even in how you deliver the line, it'll be different because they're uncomfortable. And so it's this character responding with this level of uncomfort because the character wouldn't want to do that. And so that plays into the bit as well.
So we've got, thank you, Sci-Fi Chick TV, for putting the iCharity in, the exclamation point charity in, and showing how you can donate to the Alzheimer's Association through Tiltify. We're going to be doing more of this in June, Voice-a-Palooza. We're bringing in voice actors. We're going to have interviews. Recently, I spoke with a big guy a small guy from Lord of the Rings who just may join us for a long extended chat. We have people come in every year. We had Adrian Barbeau join us one year, come in and talk. Last year we had Tim Russ. We have voice actors galore come in. We've had Ellen McLean, GLaDOS, John Patrick Lowry, who's Sniper, John St. John, who's Duke Nukem,
wow.
Matt Mercer, who we've known for years and is one of the best humans on the planet. We've had people come in left and right. I'd say probably about 50 different voice actors last year joined us. And we've done full-on panels where people can ask the questions that have been asked of me here today, and they answer. And you find out these are just wonderful people.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do it. I hope that you come back out.
Yes, I'll be there. I've enjoyed this time with you so much. If there's any way I can help, I'm absolutely there. So.
Well, I would love to come back. Folks, what do you think? Should we come back and do more with Criken in June for Voice-a-Palooza?
I don't know. I'll brush up on.
Yes, we're getting some yays. Okay.
I'm seeing a couple of yeses. Yeah.
Well, I hope
one or two.
Everybody to come back and have some fun and play. We do I do Voice-a-Palooza itself at cons.
Yeah.
And I go to conventions that will have me, and we get voice actors up on the stage, and we do scripts, and we do movies, and we do songs, all of these in character, and we have people in the crowd writing out phrases they want us to say as different characters. We have we sometimes have created video games from scratch that are just enormous train wrecks, and the more hilarious because of it. Super fun. Mike Rawson and Mike Rawson, who does all the ghouls in Fallout. And, we had John St. John. We just did a thing at a comic book shop this past weekend where we sat there and people came in. We sold some autographs, but we signed anything anybody brought to us. Son, my baby. What? Your baby? On the forehead, we're getting a tattoo. So, just hanging out and seeing people and meeting them. Went to AwesomeCon this past year, which is fantastic, and love it. And I get a chance to meet so many cool people that come to the booth and have played the game for years and years. And, they're suddenly like, oh, you're quite human, aren't you? And I'm like, yes, mostly human. I am mostly human. And the human are the people who come to see me. And I think that I get to see their heart. I get to see the creative souls, the joy that they've had And it makes me so happy to still be here, to be able to make a difference in this world, to have fun, to to be here with you, man, and with all of these folks, these lovely folks. And I have moved beyond my ability to speak of it in a way that really shows the enormity of my gratitude, just how grateful I am for what they've done today for the Alzheimer's Association. I know the folks over at Alzheimer's Association are grateful, and we're going to keep going. We're going to make life better for some folks. Hey, there may be storm clouds about us, guys, but we're going to bring the sunshine. We're going to bring the light. You reach out and you follow the joy in your heart in this life. You make a difference. You do some good. You guys have done a great amount of good here today, and I can't wait to come back and play with you again. And I hope you come out and play with me more during Voice-A-Palooza in June. And keep looking at Fallout for Hope. You can follow Fallout for Hope on all socials. Kenneth Vigu, Kenny's one of the best humans on the planet, and he will let everybody know when new things are happening. We're going to do a few little things like this, early hitters before Voice-A-Palooza. And then when we get there, there'll be fun, there'll be games, there'll be radio shows. It'll be a whole month of just streaming fun and helping humans and what's not to like. This is going to be, I mean, they said that 67 was the summer of love, folks. We have a lot of love to counter what's going on in this world, so let's make this our summer of love and give to people who really need it.
Hell yes. I could not have put that better myself. Thank you so much, Wes, for coming on. We're so blessed to have you, that you're just walking on this earth at the same time as we are and spreading this message. And
as the Wilbur said, happy to be here, happy to be alive.
Well, we are too. And I cannot wait for Voice-A-Palooza. I cannot wait for whatever comes next. And this has just been an absolute treat. So thank you so much.
Pal. For me too. Hey, as Bogart would say, this is the start of a beautiful friendship.
Thank you, Mr. Bogart. Mr. Wes Bogart Johnson. All right.
Could have said strawberries.
Man.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. If you need to find me, I'm on Wes Johnson on Instagram.
Yes, and on TikTok, right? I know you do TikTok.
Voice on. I'll continue to call it Twitter.
Yep.
Wes Johnson on Facebook, and I think it's also Wes Johnson actor or Wes Johnson, one or the other, on TikTok. I'm out there, and I'm out there.
We're all out there. Awesome. Well, this has been amazing. I hope you have a lovely rest of your night, and I can't wait to see what you do next and join you for whatever hijinks await us in June.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
And
in the meantime, capital.
Capital. He's about to say capital. All right. Thank you so much, Wes.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. Okay. That was so nice. Ugh. Man, surreal. What a wholesome guy. Make sure I... Okay. All right, I think we're good. Oh, man, this is surreal. I was smiling, crying both the whole time. I am so impressed with you guys. Thank you all for donating so much money, just being a force of positivity and good. Man, yeah. This was such an honor to be involved in, and Blessed by Wes, no crash. Yeah, we didn't have a crash. I was I was so worried. We did not have a crash. Who knows? Maybe we'll still have one. But ugh, that was such a great time. Do you think there's a chatter in here that raised the idea to you? Yeah. So that was Fallout for Hope, who Wes thanked at the end of the stream, is the one that connected us. So huge shout out to Fallout for Hope. This would not have happened without them. And I'm so glad that we had this opportunity, and would absolutely love to be involved in whatever comes next in June, or you know, whenever possible. Wes, I mean, I kind of got that sense from the interviews I'd seen, and of course his performances, but I really felt like a kindred spirit kind of connection with Wes. And so to have him on the show was really special, and to have it in a way that everyone could experience together. It's crazy too when you do something like this live, because there's no, you're all just kind of feeling it out, you know. Yeah, he was incredibly eloquent. What a lovely man. Yeah. And I love that at the end it was just us talking with the Gray Fox as the hidden third party, just staring the entire time in his little chair. Classic Oblivion. Just.
Do you have the boots?
Yeah, I have the boots.
Capital. This
Capital.
may be the last piece of the puzzle. I need to spend more time with Sevilla's stone first. I am truly indebted to you. If all goes well, I may call upon you for one last task.
This was a capital
The danger will be great,
stream.
but the reward will be greater. For now, here is your reward.
It's like Wes
Let us
never
leave
left.
Gondredal's house and go our separate ways. We have overstayed our welcome. Not now. I need to think.
Okay, sorry. Not now.
Greetings and salutations.
And a huge thank to the Alzheimer's Association as well. Yeah, I am. Can Timmy come out now? I didn't think my first interaction with Wes would be the best time to try to explain the concept that is Timmy, but I'll probably, if I can be in touch with him in the next month or two leading up to June, maybe I will share a little bit of it so he can understand the concept. Have him rise from the Shadow Realm, yeah. I don't know what to do now. Do we just keep playing for a bit? Timmy is not first date material for Criken. I mean, I guess we can keep going. Maybe we can even get to 12K by the end of the stream.
How can I help you?
Here, let me, Thank you, AAA, for the donation. I'll be able to read out donations now, too. I think so many of those conversations were so important. Xavier was taken. Thank you for the Prime sub. Femboy Wolf, thank you for the 4 months. I'm really glad that he has shared so much of his experiences in auditioning and this kind of mentality of, you know, doing work for your body and your soul. hope that resonated with some of you. I know it's one of those things that may seem like easier said than done, but it's meant to be like a goal, like a something to aspire to and to keep in mind, not necessarily a hard rule that you must abide by at all times. But it is it's nice to hear that from someone that has lived such a full life, you know, and journey. Yeah. Important to remember to have fun with your life and not worry about being cringe. Yeah. And I think there's really no one better to spread that message than this amazing character actor that has lived so many different lives, you know, in how they represent themselves and hold themselves. Don't kill the cringe, kill the part that cringes. Yes, exactly. The naysayer he kept referring to, right? The naysayer that we murder and bury in the backyard with salt. Only $600 more to 12K. Thank you, Asplora, for the $40 donation. There a snail? Well, I think maybe he said to salt the soil. I don't think it was to kill with salt. That probably wasn't accurate. I don't know who this person is. Screw naysayers that aren't pirates. The salt that kills. I was also really inspired by what he said around, like, when playing a character, making it your own, making it, you know, akin to you and from you as a root, and not just trying to copy someone else. Not that I think I also believe that there's nothing wrong with starting there, but trying to figure out how to flesh out a character and make them more believable and real by adding a bit of yourself or referencing something you've been through in your life, you know? Thank you for doing this. It means so much. I'm so glad to have been asked. I mean, how brave of Wes to, like, agree to come on a show of I don't, this random streamer that he's never interacted with before, and just kind of bare his soul it's so inspiring. So yeah, I'm the insert streamer here.
Have you ever seen Irene Metric move? Amazing.
He did the Elvis thing, he can do anything. That story was wild. Ay, ay, ay.
How goes it?
The tights, yeah. I mean, that's a perfect example of, like, a life experience that could be the end of you, but instead looking at it and being like, well, now I can say I've done that. Now I can have the worst, like, party work experience of all time that I can always look back on and be like, hey, at least it wasn't that bad, you know? Only up from there. What was I doing? Completely forgotten. What he said about playing a villain struck a chord with me. I always trained in practical effects. In the making of a monster mask, we always were told to sculpt them in neutral or pensive expression first. The monster, the villain, has to be able to rest and do things other than make a scary face to be believable. That's really interesting. Yeah. You can't have something always be at an 11, you know, snarling and being scary, because then there's nothing you can really believe about it. It is just a force of fear. It's not a entity, and for it to be really scary, it has to be like an entity that you can believe. You can put your own head in. You can envision as being real. So
Wait, I need to speak with you.
oh, okay.
I have another message from the Gray Fox.
What
The
is it?
Gray Fox requests a meeting. Please travel to Othralo's house in the Imperial City Elven Gardens.
Hello.
May Shadow hide you.
I think this is the end of the Thieves Guild questline, right? The final heist. Maybe we'll do this and then wrap up stream. This will be our big hurrah. One last job. Ultimate heist. That's literally the name of the quest.
Hello.
Did you know you can officially complain about the merchants in town?
I understand that Venetia
Can?
takes a lot of complaints, but nothing ever comes of them.
So I've heard.
Battlehorn Castle near Coral is besieged by marauders. I wish I could go and save them.
Yes.
I understand old Dovin Aron can still teach a bit about alteration.
He's getting older, but he can still teach a bit about alteration. He's been teaching it since before the Levitation Act of 421.
Huh?
Farewell.
The Levitation Act of 421. Oh, hello.
I've been waiting for you. Are you ready for one last great heist?
Yes, sir.
This is the big one. This is the heist that will be written about and talked about for decades to come. We are going to steal one of the Elder Scrolls from the Imperial Palace. Are you ready for this challenge?
Yes.
There is no buyer. This is for glory, not for money. Our names will become legend. I also have a personal need for this particular scroll. As for your compensation, I ask you to trust me. If my plan works, you will get a reward worth far more than mere money. Will you do it?
Okay.
Capital! I have worked for 11 years planning this
I'm
heist.
doing it for exposure.
Sevilla Stone provided the last bit of information I needed. The Elder Scrolls are kept in the Imperial Palace, behind a door that cannot be breached. Sevilla Stone has revealed a path around this door. You will have to travel the old way. Once used as an escape route for Imperial Emperors, it has been forgotten for centuries. To unseal the entrance, you must sneak into the basement of the palace and activate the Glass of Time. Whatever that is. In the Imperial sewers, here is the key for the gate to that section of the sewers. I picked the pocket of Okato himself to get it. My scrying with Sevilla's stone has provided clues, but not the details. I know the tools you will need there, but not the obstacles themselves. The boots of Spring-Heel Jack will allow you to leap to an unreachable place. They will also protect you from a long fall. The Arrow of Extrication is the only way to unlock the final door. Take them both. Once you're inside the palace itself, you need to find the reading room. The blind priests will deliver a scroll to you there. I arranged for the notable Celia Cameron to want to read a particular Elder Scroll. Don't ask how. However, she will be unavoidably detained. You will take her place. Do not speak to the priests. They're blindfolded and will not realize it isn't her unless you speak. As the Guildmaster, I am waiving blood price for anyone you kill during this heist. However, I can't stop the Watch from putting a price on your head.
I like how the rules of not killing people is like only whenever he feels like there should be a rule.
I've written it down for you in this book.
Artistic Angler, thank you for the 5 months.
You are the best. Good luck.
Oh, thanks. He spent 11 years for this. Okay. One last job.
Good to see you.
Please show your respect for the Imperial Palace by keeping your voice down.
I don't know why they're so insistent on you being quiet in this place.
All citizens are welcome in the Imperial Palace.
Wait. They're not. Yeah, the guards are yelling more than we are. What the hell? What is this giant club? Uh-oh.
It's all over, lawbreaker. Your spree is at an end. I'll take any stolen goods you have. The next move is yours. Pay your fine, or I haul you away.
No.
Then pay with your blood.
Activate the glass of time. What is this giant chair? What is this cartoon land we're in? I don't remember any of these things.
Die!
Giant chair for giant guard. He is real.
Huh? To arms! Do your worst.
Yeah, sorry, Wes, we gotta go.
If it's a fight you want, it's a fight.
Z, thank you for the 2-month resub. Did Wes have to go? Yes, Wes was kind enough to stay. Originally, he was only planning to come on for 1 hour, and he stayed for like 2.5. Absolute gentleman. He postponed his insurance call for us. That's true. What the hell, where are we? Freaky. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Excuse me. Yes, hand-to-hand works on ghosts because once you rank it up enough, you actually your hands count as magical.
Let's get this over with.
There's vampires down here.
You dare oppose the might of the Imperial Legion? Yeah.
This ends here.
Holy moly. And they really want me. The guards sent vampires. Criken almost mentioned the furry muscle mod to West, let's not forget. No, I actually almost mentioned the simple hygiene needs mod, which I'm glad we managed to swerve that one. But he just said something that was so relevant that I couldn't help myself. before he's still watching. Hope not. Why was there a timber wolf down here in the sewer? He's gonna put that in his recommend mods for Wes. Man, if I could put together like a mod pack for Wes to play, that would be so much fun. You know I'm putting the You Have My Ear Citizen mod in there. Get through here. The man did mention he had no underwear for this Elvis costume, so I think he'd be okay with it. I almost I was gonna bring up our the Civilization stream with me wearing that like children-sized Renaissance outfit. I guess not Renaissance. It would have been like revolutionary outfit, right? Because I don't know if you guys know that one, but like for that stream, I literally didn't know when I ordered the outfit that I was gonna wear. It didn't say it was kid-sized until it arrived, and so it was just this tiny little like corset that I had to wear. It was ridiculous. It was a good time. I do think there's something special about being enjoying making a fool out of yourself, you know. Whether you're Elvis or if you're a powdered face revolutionary British man. I don't like that the guards are working together with these vampires. Hello, fish. Okay, but he did not seem to enjoy that particular fool moment. Maybe, but it ended up being a good story. And I don't think he regrets it. Dude, why are there so many liches in the Imperial Palace basement? We really got to work on this. And these guys are relentless.
Die, damn you!
Where do I go? Liches love damp, quiet places. There's not that. Oh wait, is this the area from the beginning of the game?
Am I supposed to be impressed?
Okay, what? We don't go this way. Oh, that guard died. Sad. Maybe this way? Okay, here we go. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Glad you're here, darn fan. Oh. Jeez. This way. This way. This way. Oh, this way. Thank you, Mo the Half, for another donation. You're so close to 12,000. Which, by the way, I had no idea what to expect. I set the goal as 2,000 because I was not sure what would be realistic, but you guys have absolutely blown away all expectations to an insane degree. I'm so grateful. Oh, thank you. Oh. No, Alzheimer's has affected many lives. A lot of people here. So I think doing what we can and taking to heart a lot of the things that Wes spoke of today, whether you were able to donate or not, is, I think, the best way to live your life. So. Thanks again to Dragon. Your donation was incredibly generous. Okay. I have to use the arrow of extrication. Keyhole pillar. You do have to actually use a bow? I'll take that. Yay. Just throw it really hard. The walls look like they're meant to move. Okay. Maybe I can just jump. Do that. One thing I also really appreciated from talking with Wes today was how much he was eager to bring up and reference some of the other folks he worked with while working on this game, both other voice actors and the writers at Bethesda. You can really tell, like, you know, the character of someone when they're so, you know, eager to share how many people were involved and not, like, rest on laurels or credits of their own. No ban is an island. Yeah, one of those. Yeah, uplifting people. and how he said about, you know, extending the hand to help others, even though it doesn't come as a self-benefit. I think that meant a lot. Oh. Holy moly, Kia, thank you for the donation. I don't know when I started saying holy moly, but I have been saying it quite a lot. Capital. Holy guacamole. Let's try this way first. Love epics. Holy shinobi. I remember Holy Shinobi.
Yeah.
It's a very gross place. Gecko, thank you for that donation as well. Sorry if I'm missing it. I'm trying to also find the secret exit. We're 90 away. Holy crap. Wait, we just hit it? $12,000 raised for the Alzheimer's Association. Thank you so much, everybody. I am so glad that I can consider this a success in beyond my wildest dreams. You guys killed it. Thank you. Oh, the half. Thank you for those gifted subs. For everyone encouraging everybody else, whether you able to donate or not, hanging out and contributing to this conversation. Oh shit. This is it. I have one shot at this. I can't mess it up. Fucked it up. Oops. Maybe I have one more shot. Okay, thank goodness. Way to ruin the moment, dude. And oh, I did it, even though I got hit by this stupid zombie. Uh-oh.
You're pathetic.
Wait, what? They have a door in the middle of their barracks? You were caught, so no scroll. You can't get it? Oh, you can't be in combat. I just wanted to run past everybody. They already caught me by now? Wait, so you can fail this last quest. I didn't know that. Guys, my game crashed and it just crashed on a like a full screen photo of Wes when he was younger. I crashed and this was the immediate thing facing me. He looks so disappointed. Young Wes, the new Crash Man. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to you before we screw this up. And go. Shit. did it again. It's harder than it looks. I don't have a very high archery skill. There we go. What? Whoa. This is new. Were these always like this? Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor guy. I'm very zen about all this. Oh, and they locked the door. I'm trapped in here now. Okay. We gotta go back to this quick save. And I gotta kill everything in this room before we enter. Oh my god, I have to do the shot again. Shit. Don't say a word. What? You cannot fire this quest arrow. There we go. Okay. No! Ah! Where'd... You know, at least Wes isn't here to see this. Yeah, first try. All right. I don't know if these guys are supposed to be fighting me, but ooh, Aelid longsword.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that everyone? Okay. Okay. Let's make sure we have the stealthiest things we can. Okay. All right, I'm gonna try to do it without Chameleon first. The trash again. Oh, but he's picking up trash for him. Oh, maybe that's like how they intended you to get him out of the way. That's cool. I never noticed that interaction. Pick up that can. Okay. Okay, I just wait for them to bring me the scroll.
Celia Cameron, I present to you the Elder Scroll you requested.
Welcome to this holy library, Lady Cameron.
Cool. That was pretty easy. I think I have to go up to go down. Look how sneaky. Oh my god.
Die! You mangy house cat!
Hello. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Do your worst! Show me what you've got!
Bye. Whoop. That didn't hurt that much. So if you don't equip the boots of Spring-Heeled Jack for that drop, then you keep them. Oh shit. How many hours have you put into the game so far? This save, I think we're about 50, close to 60, I think. But Oblivion as a whole, I think it's probably over 1,000. Lock myself out. Okay, bye. Here we go. Are you gonna create a new save or just keep your travel speed and acro and level up? I will eventually do a new save. I think I'm gonna wait for some more mods to come out and then do a magic playthrough. Maybe we can do that in June. Custom spells are so fun, Oblivion? Yeah. I have a crazy idea when you played as a merchant. I do love my
It's all over, lawbreaker. Your spree is at an end. I'll take any stolen goods you have.
If we
The
turn
next move
ourselves
is
in
yours.
now...
Pay your fine, or I haul you
Yeah, how
away.
much is stealing... Oh, it's 500 bucks for stealing the Elder Scroll. No!
Then pay with your blood.
You're not taking it. I'm gonna lead them right to the Grey Fox. Are they gonna come in? Maybe not. Oh shit.
This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death.
Oh my god, who's this? Oh shit! Thieves Guild ally helping me. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh! They just shot the bread off the table!
You have the scroll. I can hardly believe it. The odds were clearly against you. Capital job. Capital. I have spent 7 years learning how to translate this scroll. Even so, I will need a while to decipher what I've sought so desperately.
What happens now?
Ah, still thinking about your reward, eh? I have not forgotten you or your loyal service to the Thieves Guild. You'll just have to trust me. Give this ring to Countess Umbranox in Anvil. Say nothing about me to her. I need to know how she reacts to it. It may provoke anger or tears. If she asks, just tell her a stranger wanted her to have it. Then report back to me on her reaction.
Ooh.
You should have paid to
Stay
fight.
away!
Do your worst! Die, you mangy house cat!
You should be on your way by now.
Are you gonna be okay?
Shadow
You should
Heist.
have paid to fight!
You should be on your way by now.
You pay my fine?
Armand Christoph and Skriva have special arrangements with the guards and judges
about
throughout
you?
Cyrodiil. They can make all your outstanding warrants go away. What do you want to know?
What's a doyen?
The doyen are the hands and eyes of the guildmaster. The current doyen are Armand Christoph and Skriva.
Okay.
Am I
Shadow
supposed
Heist.
to be impressed? You should have paid the fine. Do your
I'm
worst.
just warming up, you pathetic worm.
This is the part where you fall down and
God,
bleed.
more.
This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death. I fought this fearsome you. Die!
Stay away!
Die!
I fought
You're pathetic.
This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death.
Uh-oh.
You should have paid the fine. Die! Do your worst for the Empire. You should have paid the fine. Die! This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death. Let's get this over with. Take that!
Watch out!
I fought
more fearsome than you.
more fearsome than you.
Dude, they've barely done anything to him. Sets back
the
down.
best you can do?
Oh my god, look, he's got arrows in his...
Paid the fine.
Hey! We're having dinner here.
You should have paid the fine. You should have paid
Look,
the
they shot the
fine.
tomato over there.
You should have paid the fine. This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death. This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death.
No! He killed him!
Die! Won't you die? For the Empire! You should have paid them.
I'm getting out of here. Alright, let's finish this quest.
Who's there? What's that? Die, girl!
Isn't Othrelos the guy that recommended you the Master Sneak Trainer? Oh my god.
To arms! Who's there?
This is the part
That's the best you can do.
You know what? At this point, fuck it. Hey, Over Easy Eggs, thank you for the 7 months. How are you doing, Eggs? Looking drippy, just like eggs. Huh? Thanks. I wore this to the Ren Fair this last weekend. -2. Come on. Why do you guys hate my jokes? Wes told a pun joke today, and you all did +2 on him. Wes is cool, we like him. It was a good one and we like Wes. You said we weren't helpful. I mean, he said... You know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna argue with that about you.
It's all over,
Oh,
lawbreaker.
shit. I needed to talk to you. Hello. No,
I accept your surrender.
Stop fighting me.
Go ahead, please.
Here.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Whatever it is you want, it will have to wait until I am holding audience in the Great Hall.
No, it has to be now.
Go ahead.
Can I convince you?
Oh, remarkable. Where did you get that? Don't try to manipulate me. Remarkable. Is that so? You can't scare me. Don't try to Really? That's really funny. Well done. You can't scare me. Don't try to manipulate me. Not now, not later. Really? Interesting. You're wasting your... I like that a lot. Remarkable. That's just talk. Where did you get... What nonsense.
Bribe.
That every little bit helped. You're good.
Here you go.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Damn it. All right, I'll see you in the morning.
Take care.
Take care. Takes out her dagger. Smuggler's Cave? Oh, hello again. Oh, alright, sorry. Okay, dramatic leap! Oh no. Can't do it.
What can I do for you? I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Okay.
Good day.
Can I wait here? I might have to run. Is this balcony in the original? I don't remember it being here. This is really pretty balcony. Oh my god, she locked the door? Imagine I ran out of lockpicks. This would have been the end of me. I love that Wes taught us about the lockpick, like, skill exploit. He seemed very excited about that. Oh boy, okay. Sure is a nice house. God. What's the way out? This way? Nope.
Look out!
Sorry. Sorry. God damn it. Here we go.
You should be on your way by now.
Oh. Look. He's here. And he has the same reaction to when he was in the Imperial City, but we're not supposed to know who it is yet.
Shadow hide you.
He's not very good at keeping a secret. Okay, how do we get them to stop being aggro on us? You consider paying the fine? You know, that is not a bad idea. Okay, fine. We're gonna stash our skooma back here. I think that's the only thing stolen that I care about. Those are mud crabs. That's a crash. Fuck. Come on, we're so close to finishing this quest line. Okay, here's the procedure. Crab fried crash. Okay, I'm gonna go... Wait. I'm gonna go to Dunbarrow Cove. That's where I'm gonna store my ill-gotten goods. That's exactly what it's used for. Zaryu, thank you for the raid. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We finished our interview with Wes Johnson about an hour ago. But we are just now finishing up the last quest in the Thieves Guild. I hope you guys had a great stream. We also raised $12,000.
How goes it? How are you today? Fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Sorry, I was distracted. For Alzheimer's Association. And I am dressed as Cicero. Yes, all these are true.
Go ahead, please.
Go and plunder.
Of course. Yes?
Ascended Immortal? What? Who is this?
Goodbye.
Does anyone know who this is?
Go ahead, please. Take care.
He's just there in my game too? He seems chill. You're supposed to be in the last zone of the main quest. Oh. Wait, they reject my yield?
House cat! Stop! You violated the law.
Alright, fine, I'll pay the gold.
That's too bad. I was hoping you'd resist arrest. Okay.
Well, now we get to see the end to this quest line at least. I'll sit right here, next to this stranger, and wait till the morning. Oh, vampire moment. Okay. Hello, milady.
I hope I can help.
Have you done the Fighters Guild quest line? Yep, we've done almost all of them.
This ring belonged to my husband. He's been missing for over 10 years. For some reason, his name and face escape me at the moment. How did you get it? Do you know his whereabouts? Why are you showing it to me?
It's a gift from a stranger.
My husband's wedding ring. I never thought to see it again. What I wouldn't give to see him once more. He looks familiar.
What? Oh.
By the power of the Elder Scrolls, I name Emmer Deriloth as the true thief of Nocturnal's cowl.
You're the Grey Fox? I've been betrayed.
I am the Grey Fox, but you have not been
Why
betrayed.
has she been betrayed?
But...
I am also your missing husband, Corvus.
Corvus? Is it really you? 10 years I've waited for word from you. Why did you hide from me?
10 years ago, I inherited this cowl from the former guildmaster of the Thieves Guild. I became the new guildmaster, but I also received its curse. Whoever wears Nocturnal's cowl shall have his name stricken from history.
Wow.
Once I donned the cowl, no one in all of Tamriel could recognize me. With the cowl, I became the Grey Fox. Without it, I was a stranger, even to you.
You mean you were unable to return?
I've stood right next to you, and you didn't even know it. I cried out to you, "Here I am! It's me, Corvus!" But you just looked at me, confused.
That'd be a bummer.
You have broken my heart for a second time. I cannot let the infamous criminal mastermind, the Grey Fox, become the Count of Anvil. If you try to announce yourself as Corvus, I will deny you.
Damn.
I will deny you before the Emperor if I have to.
I guessed you would say these terrible things to me. That is why I brought my friend along. From this moment forward, I renounce my life of crime forever. I'm passing the gray cowl of the Thieves Guild to its new guild master.
You're a...
The gray cowl is now yours. You are the new guild master of the Thieves Guild.
What was she about to tell me?
You'll find that history has been altered tonight. Such is the power of Nocturnal's curse that lifting it can alter time itself.
What is different?
If Emmer Derloth had not stolen Nocturnal's cowl, the Thieves Guild would never have fallen on such hard times.
Didn't he do that
Because of the
300 years
curse,
ago?
He was unable to operate in the normal world of business and society. He could only act as the Guild's figurehead. That has been undone. If you go to the Imperial City, you will find that the Thieves Guild has a guild hall on the site of the ruins of Derloth.
Whoa.
Sneaky-looking sort.
Hey.
Go ahead, please. Good day.
It's my pleasure. Please, continue. It's unbelievable. Right in the center of the city. Nobody saw anything. Shadow hide you.
Shadow hide you. I guess he has to stand, though. Should we try on the hat? It's kind of an abrupt ending. It's so goofy.
You're the Grey Fox.
Uh-oh.
You're under arrest for all kinds of stuff. You're wanted dead or alive. I'm choosing dead. I'll make captain for this. Why? Won't
Stay away.
you die?
Immediately the cycle repeats itself. I don't remember the guild hall of the Thieves Guild. It wasn't that great. But yeah, if I take this off, I think they just de-aggro, right? Whoa!
I accept your surrender.
Yeah, they forgot why we were fighting. Alright, let's go check out the Thieves Guild. And then we'll probably call it for today. This has been an awesome stream. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It has been such a surreal experience for me to get to interview someone I respect as much as Wes Johnson on the stream. And to raise so much money for such a good cause, I'm just such a memorable moment. So thank you all for making that possible. And I'm excited for the opportunity to do more with them in the future. It was very nice of him to invite me.
I see you're a follower of the Grey Fox,
Greetings to you.
too.
You wear the shadows well, fellow thief.
Oh yeah?
Shadow.
I wear them so well that you didn't even know I was he.
What is it? What is it now?
What's new?
As I live and breathe, the Grey Fox, it's an honor. Goodbye. Saw
You're
a mud
the
crab
Grey
a couple of
Fox.
days ago. Ugly little
Thank
animals.
you for everything you've done to help us here in the waterfront.
Sharp.
As I live and breathe, the Grey Fox. It's an honor. Bye.
Safe travels.
Bye.
As I live and breathe, the Grey Fox. Good day.
As I live and breathe, the Grey Fox.
As
Goodbye.
I live and breathe. Is this it, guys? Is this the guild? What the hell? We have a room for like 5 lockpicks? We have like 3 beds down here? Some
it's the
wheat?
Grey Fox! I can't believe it's really you!
The Guildmaster's room's upstairs. Okay, hopefully. Okay. It's kind of messy, but I guess we could like have meetings here at a big table. What about what's up here? Here we go. Whoa, now we're talking. What's this? Hey, there's the stone I stole. Yeah, I stole that too. There's the transfer orders, tax records. That's nice and wholesome. Oh, door doesn't work. Big door.
You're the Grey Fox.
I know. So does the Grey Fox hood keep your actual character from receiving a bounty? That's a good question. Like if we go on a murder rampage right now, would it be on the Grey Fox's bill? That's cool.
You're the Grey Fox. You're under arrest for all kinds of stuff. Then pay with your blood.
I'm gonna go visit the Dark Brotherhood as the Grey Fox. I'm the Dark Grey Fox.
Yes, dearest brother?
They recognize me.
Good luck, brother. I hope you don't get killed. I mean, well, you know.
Aww. They recognize me because they love me.
As I live and breathe, the Grey Fox. It's an honor.
Some of them recognize me.
Spill some blood for me, dear brother.
This is confusing.
So good to see you. Is there anything you need?
You've seen Lucien Lachance then. Good, good.
I don't want to talk about it.
Go now, dear family member, and good night, mother.
As I live and breathe, the Grey Fox. It's an honor. May you walk always in the shadow of Sithis, dear brother.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to call it there for today. But this has been an awesome stream. Thanks again, everyone. I'm truly blessed to be able to do this for a living and with a community of such kind-hearted people. And yeah, I'm going to reflect on a lot of the things that I talked about with Wes today because they meant a lot. So I hope you all got something out of the conversation as well. And we'll see you tomorrow for another stream. Okay? All right. Let's all continue trying to be the best we can be for both ourselves and for everyone else in our lives. Thanks again, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. And I will send you to Momo, who's playing Oblivion. Go hang out with the green cat. All right. Peace out, everyone. This is Cicero saying goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow at normal time. Peace out. Bye, everybody. Take care.